It is Halloween night here in Athens, Ohio. Getting ready for a little trick-or-treating and college football. The fans of the Ohio Bobcats all dressed up in the costumes and the outfits, looking to see if their team keeps things rolling here tonight. It's monster action in the MAC between the Miami Redhawks and the Ohio Bobcats here on ESPN College Football Primetime. And a big matchup today in the standings, and 42 degrees here at game time between these two on a clear night. But how important is this game for the Miami Redhawks at 3-5, 2-2 in conference? They've had some tough luck losses. Ohio 3-1, 6-2 overall, hoping to win their fourth consecutive over Miami in the series. Good to have you with us, everyone. Mike Corey and Rocky Boyman, welcome to Peden Stadium. And boy, if you're an Ohio Bobcat fan, you've been watching a lot of offense this year, over 40 points a game. They're on pace for a record.
Yeah, and in typical Frank Solich fashion, they're going to pound you with the run, and then they're going to take some shots deep. But, Mike, they're led by their sophomore quarterback, Nathan Rourke. He's a dual-threat guy, makes some plays with his legs and with his arm. And, again, can go, sets up the offense very well, can make a bunch of guys miss. And he's really, really adept at reading that zone option, takes it in for the score. And just when you come down on the run, Mike, he can then light you up in the pass. Very accurate passer, getting some shots downfield to those wide receivers.
On the other side for Miami, they've had to go with two quarterbacks because of injuries. It's been back and forth between Billy Ball and Gus Ragland.
Yeah, Gus Ragland, I don't think we'll see much of him tonight. He's kind of a dual-threat guy, makes a ton of plays, but it's going to be Billy Ball that gets the start. And Billy Ball's been kind of up and down. He's feast or famine, but last week versus Buffalo, he had a great game, very consistent with the pass. He's going to have to be on point with that tonight versus this Ohio defense.
It's been a tough place to play for Miami here at Ohio. They haven't won since 2005. We'll see if they can break that streak here tonight. The Redhawks and the Bobcats on Halloween night. Kickoff is next. Welcome back to ESPN College Football Primetime. The Battle of the Bricks here tonight between Miami and Ohio. It has been dominated by the Bobcats, and especially with Frank Solich leading the way, 10-2, and now his 13th season as coach here at Ohio. Rocky, such a tough place to play. It really is hard to win here.
It really is. Every time I've called a game here, the Bobcats always find a way to get it done. Very physical football team, very Frank Solich-esque, right? And from going back to his days in Nebraska, he's continued that tradition here. Tough place to play here in Ohio. And then for Miami, Chuck Martin. Mike, you want to talk about a total program transformation when he took over as head coach 4 seasons ago. Really built this program last year. Talk of college football, those 6 straight wins. Stumbled a little bit this year, but that win tonight, Miami, we're right back in the action.
No doubt about it. It's certainly been a rebuilding project for him. They go to the bowl game last year for the first time since 2011. Poppy White is a difference maker for Ohio on offense.
Yeah, he's had a hand injury, but he's back in action tonight. I mean, jet sweeps, just get him the ball in space, a dynamic playmaker. Ohio's happy to have him back tonight.
42 degrees, as we said, here at game time. Of course, if you're out there for a long period of time, it starts to get pretty cold, doesn't it?
A little bit, but I'll tell you what, for Ohio this time of year, this is about perfect weather as you can get.
We talked to Frank Solich this past week. Very low-key, of course. I tried to get some information out from his assistants about some of the funny stories, and they said they had nothing. And they said even if I was going to tell it and he heard it, he'd say, no, why are you talking about that?
Yeah, Frank's all business, but I still really enjoy talking. The guy's been coaching football, Mike, for 50 years. 50 years he's been coaching on the sidelines, and he still has a tremendous amount of energy, and he's really injected a lot of new life into this Ohio program since he's been here.
What about Kenny Young, the running back for Miami? Talked about a couple players to watch. How about for the Redhawks here tonight?
Yeah, really turning it on as a runner. And, Mike, he's listed in your program as 5'7", 180, but he runs much bigger than that. Big legs, explosive guy, and he has got to be key tonight. Miami has to set up this run game in order to set up the play-action pass off of it.
Miami won the toss, and they have deferred, and it's going to be Ohio to receive and start this game here tonight at home. with Sam Sloman kicking off. And Dorian Brown and David Burrows back to return for the Bobcats. It's time for Maction here tonight on Halloween. And a touchback to begin for the Bobcats. And our first chance to see Nathan Rourke, who you talked about at the Open, Rocky. Dynamic, 23 total touchdowns this season. He's going to be fun to see here tonight.
He really is, and again, just a sophomore. He won the job in camp. Quentin Maxwell, the quarterback last year. But Mike, he just made so many plays with his legs. 13 rushing touchdowns this season, and what you'll see, he's very decisive. They'll run a little zone option. They'll run a little read option. Every read he makes, very decisive with where he wants to go with that football.
So 1st and 10 from the 25 to begin here tonight as A.J. Ouellette is in the backfield behind Rourke. And he'll get the call on 1st down for about 4 yards, brought down by Tony Reed, setting up 2nd and 6.
And Mike, there's few certainties in life. There's death, there's taxes, and there's the fact that Frank Solich is going to have a big, powerful offensive line. He's going to have some running backs, and he's going to have a running quarterback. Every stop he's been, whether it's Nebraska or here at Ohio, you see the same sort of style.
Keeper this time by Rourke, and just what you talked about, running for the 1st and more across the 40-yard line. Finally, Junior McMullen brought him down. Fresh set of downs to the Bobcats.
And for such a young guy, Mike, I mean, reading that zone, it takes such a long time to get, but he always seems to make the right read on the defensive end. He sees him closing down, he keeps. And I'll tell you what, Miami, they're in a predicament tonight because they run the ball well downhill with Ouellette and Dorian Brown, but then again, Nathan Rourke on the keeper, as we just saw.
After a gain of 11, it's back to Ouellette. Ouellette was a walk-on back in 2014, and the story goes is that he really played well throughout August camp, getting ready for the season, then was awarded a scholarship. And in the first game, the 3 guys in front of him all fumbled. And they said, all right, well, let's go with Ouellette. And he's the only one that didn't fumble, and since then he's been starting.
I was saying, he hasn't come off the field since. A really patient, powerful runner. He runs behind those pads, Mike.
2nd down, Rourke. And on the sideline catch made by Brendan Cope, and it's going to be right at the sticks. Midfield is where the 1st down marker is, just a little bit shy.
And there's another name to watch, number 85, Brendan Cope. He's finally back to full speed. He's one of the fastest guys on this team. And what you're seeing, a little, just some short stuff, some runs, but at some point, Mike, they're going to take some shots downfield. They really live off the big play.
Back to Ouellette, and he has the 1st down into Miami territory. How about the job Ohio has done offensively this season? Look where they rank, and this is the MAC, but overall they're on pace for a record.
They are, and it seems like every single year it's the same sort of situation. They run the ball well, their offensive line, always, a lot of upperclassmen, juniors and seniors, and just moving guys off the football.
First down, fake by Rourke, and goes deep. There's contact. Here comes the flags. Again, Cope, the intended target, and DeAndre Daniels ran into him for Miami.
And Nathan Rourke wanted Poppy White down toward the bottom of your screen, but Heath Harding with some great man-to-man coverage goes up top and winds up drawing the flag.
15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Brendan Cope, again, great size, 6'2", and just, Heath Harding is the cornerback at the bottom. I mean, a lot of NFL scouts are in to see him, so it's going to be the other side. It's going to be DeAndre Daniels, it's going to be Cedric Usay. They're going to get a lot of the attention tonight. The ball's going to come their way. They got to make plays.
Pretty easy call on that one. He tackled him.
No question. That's you obviously can't do that. Can't have those hands wrapped around those guys.
1st down and 10 from the 31. And back to Ouellette. And they've done a nice job of mixing things up, so already keeping the Red Hawk defense honest. You got Ouellette, you got Rourke that can pull it down and run it. He's already shown that, and through the air.
And when you're playing the zone read like that, Mike, you got to at least stop one of the options, right? You got to either take away the dive and force them to keep, or take away the quarterback. Right now, Miami's defense isn't doing either.
Right, they haven't taken anything away, either through the air as well. 2nd down and 3, a lot of options here.
Sees Miami defense crowding the offensive line. They know they got to build a wall up there.
Ouellette, good blocking, look out, A.J. Ouellette, and tripped up at the 5-yard line. Tony Reed saved what would have been a touchdown. Good block by the offensive line, and Joe Anderson leading the way, a gain of 19.
Offensive line does a great job blocking the initial front there with the defensive line. Then Ouellette gets in the open field. Josh Allen, safety, comes up, misses the tackle. Ouellette will run right through those arm tackles all day long.
That's the Bobcat offense at work so far this season. 1st and goal.
Down here's where you got to really watch the quarterback draw as well.
It's back to Ouellette, and he'll get inside the 5-yard line. It was Doug Costin that made the tackle. And Miami defensively has been solid, but Ohio has also been pretty good inside the red zone this season. What's going to give?
What's going to give? You're right. Offensively, Ohio is great down this end of the field, but Miami's done a great job as well here. We'll see if Miami, after giving up a long drive here, can force a field goal.
Rourke, and he's going to get in for the touchdown. Ohio on the board first on an opening drive for the score.
They just march the ball down the field, Mike, and again, you see just a great decision. Nathan Rourke reads those blocks, gets a seal off, and then just punches in for the touchdown. It's going to be a long, long night if Miami can't do a better job defensively stopping this run.
Good job of that left side of the offensive line. Joe Lowry, Joe Anderson, also had the tight end Troy Mangin blocking, and that's an easy one for the Bobcats. And number 12 gets the scoring started. 7-0 Ohio. Halloween night here in Athens. Good start for the home team. Bobcats lead it 7-0. Welcome back to ESPN College Football Primetime. Opening drive for a touchdown by the Ohio Bobcats, and they lead it 7-0.
Yeah, very typical of their drives all this year, Mike. Methodical, down the field, 9 plays, 75 yards, 4:40 off the clock. That's how they've been getting it done all year.
And Nathan Rourke with his 14th rushing touchdown of the season. Chuck Martin, you know him well, the former Notre Dame assistant.
Yeah, I got to know him when he took over this program 4 years ago, and this program was in disarray, Mike. They had a lot of guys that, frankly, I don't know if they loved football, but he's done a great job in recruiting, built this program up. Of course, a great year last year.
Kenny Younger, the return here for Miami. Solid one at that across the 30-yard line, so pretty good field position for the Red Hawks in their opening drive of the night. And you mentioned it in our opening about our 2 quarterbacks, Billy Ball and Gus Ragland. It's going to be Billy Ball that gets us started. It's interesting between these two how they've gone back and forth.
Kicking team, number 98, that 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. 1st down, Miami.
Extra 5 for the Red Hawks. It's been interesting how they've gone back and forth because of the injuries that they've each suffered each of the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, and Gus Ragland, he's more of a dual threat guy and a really dynamic playmaker, but he's got a lower body injury, and if he can't use his legs, he can't be effective. So we're going to see a lot of Billy Ball tonight. Now, Billy Ball, I'm just going to tell you right now, great quarterback, shows great potential, but Mike, he has the tendency to overanalyze things. Tonight, he's got to, when he sees the opening, he's got to pull the trigger.
Well, it's going to go flea flicker here to start from Alonzo Smith. Back to Ball, and he guns it over for Sam Martin, who makes the catch. And it's trick or treat right from the start from Miami. We knew we'd see something here tonight.
I love it, Mike. Great call. That little flea flicker, the defense gives up a long drive. You got to get some energy back in your team and your offense there. A little flea flicker, and Billy Ball, and then Sam Martin. Sam Martin's had a nice career here. Already can't believe in his senior year. Nice catch.
22-yard pickup on the first play for the Redhawks. And then they go on the ground, and it's Kenny Young tackled down by Trent Smart.
A lot of zone runs you'll see, inside zone, midline, outside, but Kenny Young, we talked about him. He's only 5'7", about 180 pounds, but he can still run between the tackles. But if he can get to the edge, Mike, he's got some blazing speed to get to that corner.
Career high 125 yards rushing last week with 2 touchdowns. Second down play fake. Ball look out. It is intercepted. Picked off by Javon Hagan.
And this has been the downfall of Billy Ball all season. He's just thrown some balls and tried to fit them in places he shouldn't. Javon Hagan has absolutely perfect coverage on the tight end. He tries to fit it in. And how about Javon Hagan with a circus catch, able to pull that thing in. It's not there, don't go there with it. Tries to fit it in. Mistake.
First interception of the season for Javon Hagan. And you're right, not a great decision at all. And that's tough because they were looking pretty good on their opening sequence there.
Yeah, flea flicker, get a nice pass play. They've established a run and then a turnover.
So now it's back to Nathan Rourke and A.J. Ouellette behind him in the pistol. And now they do some trickery. They'll try it themselves, and wide open is Troy Manchin, and Manchin gets into Miami territory. So they add another wrinkle to the flea flicker there for the Bobcats.
Halloween nights and Max, look at the crazy plays. Double reverse flea flicker, I think, is officially the call there. How about this one? I haven't seen this play all year. The handoff and then the pitch back to the quarterback. But this time throws to a wide open wide receiver in Troy Manchin.
That was Ouellette to D.L. Knock, a wide receiver. And then Manchin is the tight end who made the catch. How crazy is that? Get your players involved. Now a shot deep, making the reception, Brendan Cope. Touchdown, Ohio.
What I tell you, they're going to pound a run, and they're going to take deep shots down the field. And they bring up that Miami defense concerned with the run, and then they hit their best wide receiver, Brendan Cope, on the touchdown. That was over Heath Harding, too. It was a great cover corner, but a perfect pass by Nathan Rourke.
Extra point by Louis Zervos. And Ohio, what a start, 14-0.
Yeah, Ohio getting it done all over the place here tonight. The runs, and then the great pass, Nathan Rourke down the sideline, Brendan Cope. It's all Bobcats here in Athens.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Call of Duty World War II. Reassemble your squad on November 3rd. Rated M for mature. And Hyundai, better drives us.
What a start for the Bobcats on top, 14-0 over Miami here at home in Athens. Had a big night here on Halloween. The first college football playoff rankings have been released. We'll get to those for you just over an hour ago, and all of a sudden, we're into November, and college football is starting to heat up.
That's right. What, 3-4 weeks left in the regular season here. Those rankings came out tonight. Largely, I saw it the same way they did. I have a few problems with it, though, which we'll get into here in a little bit.
Let's get into it. Here's Young on the return from Miami. Got across the 30-yard line the first time and gets to the 23 here. And here are the playoff rankings that just came out. Let's get to the top 10. A little extracurricular activity at the end of the play. No flags are down. So the top 10 And it's interesting, you know, you see the top 25 all season long, and now here's what matters. These are the playoff rankings from here on out now. First week, you got Georgia, number one.
And I put out earlier today my rank. I had Georgia at 1-2. Mike, I just think they have the best win of the year. They won a great game at Notre Dame. 5 times this year they've scored over 40 points. They held Notre Dame to 19, Mississippi State to 3. So offensively they're getting it done. Defensively they're getting it done. So I know Alabama fans don't like it. You can send me the hate on Twitter if you want. I'm at Rocky Boyman 50, but I agree with the rankings so far.
How about your phone number as well? Oh, okay.
Give that one out as well. Give me the snark.
Alonzo Smith on the carry. Let's get to your top 6 of what you had here as we take a look at it prior to tonight's rankings officially coming out.
Yeah, so we had the 1 and 2, and then you know, I had Notre Dame there, right there at 3. I think they got some great wins as well. They got the best loss of the year, I would say. Now I was a little bit higher on Miami, right, than a lot of people are, but only undefeated team in the ACC. I think they're finding ways to win. We haven't seen the last of Miami this year.
Flags fly before second down for Miami. We're talking the Miami Redhawks here.
Offense, number 66, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Well, there's a lot of college football left to be played. That's the thing. People see the rankings for the first time here tonight. Obviously, you can comment and go crazy about it, but this is just the first one.
First one. Everyone relax a little bit.
We have to remind people how much the first ranking is totally different we've seen from the last couple of years, right?
But I love it, Mike. Get some good debate going, get some discussion. People have some friendly and not so friendly arguments about it, right? But that's the beauty of the sport.
Another flag.
Full start. Offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Miami just all out of sorts here tonight. They get the ball driven down the field on them on defense. They give up a turnover, a big play touchdown, and now a couple penalties in a row. They got to find a way to calm down, relax, and get back in this football game. Still plenty to play here.
And it's very unlike Sam McCollum, too. Very solid offensive lineman, started the last 2 years, including his true freshman season. But it's just backed him up 10 yards, and that's not going to help as Alonzo Smith gets tackled down by Cleon Alalese, who was the first on the scene.
Miami, they got a couple running backs getting it done for them. Back there, we've already seen a lot of Kenny Young. We've, of course, seen Alonzo Smith. But right now, this Ohio defensive line, they're not dynamic. They don't make a ton of plays, but they're really solid up there. Allow those linebackers to run around and make a ton of plays.
Got to be careful not to make another mistake here on 3rd and 21, deep in your own territory.
I imagine Ohio's going to drop out 7. There they go.
Just get the playoff ball. Oh, what a catch made by James Gardner, and he has a first down. That is a crucial play for Miami early in this ball game, a 1st and 10 across the 40-yard line.
James Gardner is their most dynamic playmaker. Wide receiver, 6'4", 215, and Mikey just leaps out of the stadium and snatches that ball out of the night sky. They're going to keep going to Gardner. Again, he's 6'4". Ohio's cornerbacks are all under 5'11", a tremendous height advantage there for Gardner.
Ball and pressure. Oh, that's not what you needed to do there. That is tipped and nearly intercepted. Off the turf, incomplete, and a flag is down. And I could just see Chuck Martin looking right now at ball with his arms out saying, what are you doing? Let's check the flag.
Pass interference, defense, number 3, 15-yard penalty, automatic.
They catch a major break on Brad Ellis's penalty there.
And I realize you want to make a play, but Billy Ball, Mike, he's a junior. He's played a lot of football. He's got to know you can't throw a ball off your back leg, falling backwards up into the sky, and expect it to not get picked off. Miami is so lucky right now that Ohio didn't come up with that football. And that's his deal. He tries to do too much. We saw it with the interception earlier. He just thinks he can make every play out there and win the game with every throw, but he's got to learn how to calm down, take what the defense gives you a bit instead of taking those chances again. He's been playing too much football at the college level to make mistakes like that.
Miami had a 3rd and 21. They picked up 30 on the reception by Gardner. And then they nearly gave it right back on what would have been a 2nd interception thrown by Ball. They got bailed out with a penalty, and it's 1st and 10. Ball guns it sideline, and that's a solid throw there to Jared Murphy. But you had your arms out there, Rocky. What do you think?
And that's what's so maddening about him. He'll make a throw like he did before. It almost gets picked off, and then finds the open wide receiver and just throws a dart to him. I mean, this is what gets you so excited. Look at that. Football comes out on the money, comes out of his hand quick, good pop to it. Doesn't think too much about it. It's, again, he's so maddening because there's so much potential and there's so much to like about him. He just got to be more consistent with it.
And that's a 1st down reception to the 32-yard line. Ball swings it out for Young. Makes the catch, Kenny Young, and ridden out at the 25-yard line, 3 yards shy of a Redhawks 1st down.
Kenny Young getting him going in the passing game, which is a great idea, a dynamic guy in the backfield. But how about this? Coaches talk about balance, right? Dual-headed, dual backfield, 107 carries and 106 between Young and Alonzo Smith.
Quick fake, and over the middle, the pass is caught, and a good reception there, pulled in by Ryan Smith.
There you go.
And another 1st down.
Yeah, see the open guy, pull the trigger. That's what we need to see more out of Billy Ball. Great play.
Number 2 receiver for the Redhawks at the tight end position with a gain of 11, and they're at the 14 of 1st and 10. Ball to the end zone. Touchdown, James Gardner. What a response by the Redhawks. They needed that.
I love it. You know, maybe the worst throw in football I've seen in a while, and then 3 amazing throws. Finding the open guys, pulling the trigger, not waiting, no hesitation, fake, bang. There's the open wide receiver for the touchdown. Great job by Miami. And a fantastic job by Billy Ball calming down and making those throws.
Yeah, that's the thing, Rocky. It's the first quarter. You don't have to go all hero making plays.
All right, there's no 14-point play, right? The game isn't over in 2 seconds. So Miami finally gets back. They settle down, Mike. They get the touchdown. Very much back in this game. 14-7, Ohio.
Lead, everyone. 14-7. Ohio leads Miami as we welcome you back to Athens, Ohio. Excellent response by the Redhawks
right.
on their last drive, Rocky. 7 plays, 77 yards. It was kind of danger zone, though. They were down 14-0. They almost turned it over for a 2nd straight time.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like Ohio was just going to run them out of the stadium here early, almost get another pick. But right after that, they couldn't come up with the interception. Miami goes down the field, bang, bang, bang. Billy Ball with some great passing. Back in this football game.
Dorian Brown picks it up, and here is Ohio's Brown across the 20-yard line to the 22. And we've got a huge weekend in college football on ABC this Saturday. Number 4, Clemson, and number 20, NC State. That's going to start at 3:30 Eastern, and then coming your way in the nightcap, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. 13th ranked Virginia Tech, 7-1, taking on the undefeated Miami Hurricanes at 7-0. You've got the top 2 teams in each division of the ACC. Big-time matchups, also streaming live the ESPN app.
Kelly Bryant for Clemson, how healthy is he? He's the key to their offense. I've seen them twice this year in games I've had on Saturdays, Mike. They're a dominant team. Defensive line, maybe the best in college football, but everything goes through that quarterback. If he's not healthy, they're a different team.
Play fake, Rourke gets it out, and right on the spot to make the tackle on Poppy White was DeAndre Daniels. Excellent play for the Redhawks.
going to go after, they're going to pick on DeAndre Daniels tonight, see what he's got. Does a great job. Poppy White is not a guy that you want to tackle in open space, but you see how he closes the gap. He doesn't wait on it. You wait and you give Poppy White some room to wiggle around. He'll make you miss. A great job by Daniels.
Rourke, and over the head of his intended target, Brendan Cope.
Miami getting a little bit of pressure, Mike. They haven't done a great job of getting pressure, just 11 sacks on the season, but they got to find a way to get Nathan Rourke off his mark tonight.
First incomplete pass for Rourke tonight, and it's a 3rd down and 9 for the Bobcats.
If I were Miami, I would drop 8 into coverage here and give no room for Nathan Rourke to throw this football. We'll see what they do. Looks like they're going to blitz.
Looking like that. Here they come. They pick it up, though. Rourke, for the time being, gets away. Sideline. Cope dropped it. Almost. It would have been close, too, where he may have caught that near the sticks. Instead, it's going to be 4th and 9.
And that's why I said they should drop him, because he's so good at escaping, Mike. I mean, Miami brings the house on that play, and he still finds a way to wiggle out and get some room. That's why he's so dangerous. Almost gets the completion. I think Ohio will be better off tonight dropping 7, dropping 8 into coverage, giving it nowhere for him to throw the football and force him to a decision.
Punt time, Michael Farkas. Jaron Murphy awaits it for Miami. They're going to have excellent field position here to start on this drive from the 45-yard line. 3:13 to play, first quarter tonight in action. Yeah, it's got some great costumes here. We were down on the field earlier tonight, walking around. You get brave in the weather here on Halloween
Where's
night.
your costume at,
I know.
Mike?
You and I are actually wearing the same exact
shirt. We must have talked to each other before the game.
We did great. And we're not even in Halloween colors either. We got the purple on tonight.
So, but here we go, Mike. Miami starts this drive. Which Billy Ball are we going to see? Are we going to see good Billy, or are we going to see bad Billy? The guy from the first drive or the guy from the second drive who lit it up?
Alonzo Smith starts in the backfield on this set for Miami. Gardner again on the catch and into Ohio territory, about 3 yards shy of a first down, pushed out by Chad Moore and Marlon Brooks.
Ohio better have a plan for James Gardner, because right now Billy Ball and he have a great connection going, dynamic receiver. And again, Marlon Brooks just 5'10". James Gardner, the receiver, is 6'4", and Ball is putting it up high where only a receiver can get it.
Yeah, and Gardner's the real deal. I mean, look out for this guy, junior. I mean, he's got some skills.
I think he's a potential next level guy.
Yes.
He'll get a shot in the NFL, maybe get to a camp and see what happens.
Oh, nice cutback here by Alonzo Smith, and he gets into Ohio territory inside the 25-yard line. And a big run, and he got a great block by Ryan Smith, the tight end, a gain of 22.
Mike, it was great vision. Ohio had a stunt. They slanted to the right, and the running back Smith did a great job. Patience, you see he gets the ball, and then bang, nice little cut to the side, then gets it back north-south. Big run there by this dual threat running back they have here with Smith and Young.
They're taking a look at Smith right now on the sideline, Alonzo Smith. So Young is in there on a 1st and 10 from the Bobcats' 25-yard line. Pass caught, Ryan Smith, and he has it down close to the marker, just a little bit shy of yet another Miami first down.
Just tremendous balance here. Ohio doesn't know what to do. They try to come in, pack the box for the run. Billy Ball is hitting wide receivers. And then once they drop on out, they start covering some guys. They were able to hit them with the run.
Two teams with different red zone stories this year, right?
Yeah, how about this? I mean, Ohio is fantastic in the red zone, but you see Miami not bad, but not getting the touchdowns at the same level that Ohio is.
Second and short. And you can hear it, timeout taken by Miami. The play clock is winding down, and they'll talk it over.
Miami has their first charge timeout of the half, 30-second timeout.
Back in 60 seconds. How great is the ESPN app? Stream every ESPN and ABC college football game live at home or on the go. I'm down on the field before the game. The college football playoff rankings are coming out. Pop on the phone.
How about that?
Put it on,
we're on the way up the elevator.
Up.
That's right. We have the elevator. We were catching those rankings as they were pouring in. Happy to see my Irish at number 3. How about
That's
that?
right.
Yeah.
How about it? That's it's going to shake things up a little bit for sure if they keep it up there. And
I'll tell you what, college football world is going to lose their mind, because if Notre Dame makes it in, that means there's going to be potentially 2 conferences that don't get in, and a lot of people aren't going to be happy about that.
Alonzo Smith is back in for Miami. They need a short yard. He has that and more. Alonzo Smith down to the 2. Oh, he's still on his feet. Oh, they didn't call him down. He's in. It's a touchdown. Somehow Alonzo Smith kept it going, and it's a Red Hawks score.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Alonzo Smith, Mike, was not going to be denied on that play. Kept the leg drive going. Miami running the football, which is something not a lot of teams can do on this Ohio defense. But they're getting to the second level, and then from there the running backs are making guys miss and then driving in the end zone for the touchdown. Miami back in business.
What a run by Smith. And after a 14-0 lead by Ohio to start, the Red Hawks have come storming back. But a touchdown pass by Billy Ball, and then this powerful run by Alonzo Smith. And Sam Sloman tries to make it 14-all here. And does just that. What a first quarter of action here tonight on Halloween.
Of college football, but why you love the MAC as well. Just, again, seemingly 5 minutes ago, Ohio looked like they were just going to run Miami out of the stadium, and now Miami back in business. 2 fantastic drives.
4 plays, 54 yards, and 2 minutes and 11 seconds off the clock, capped off by Smith's second touchdown run of the season.
How about Billy Ball, 8 for 9 for 111 yards. His only incompletion was the interception. Outside of that, he's been perfect.
So now it's Ohio that kind of has to settle back in here a little bit. You get off to such a great start like that, you think everything's going to go your way all night, and then in a matter of a couple of minutes, Miami's right back in this game.
Yeah, I think Ohio needs to get back to that interior run game. They need to get Ouellette going on those interior downhill runs that were so effective on that first drive.
Here's Dorian Brown. It's across the 20 and to the 25-yard line. Let's go back to the 4 touchdowns we've already seen so far in this first quarter here tonight.
Yeah, 14 minutes into this game, we've already seen 4 touchdowns. Miami early on just drove the ball down the field, run, and then Nathan Rourke takes it in for the touchdown. And then when you think they're just going to run it down there, throws Brendan Cope, deep pass down the sideline. Looks like the route is on, but then Miami and James Gardner, great job. Billy Ball really settled in after that interception on the first drive. And then how about this? Alonzo Smith, power, he won't be denied into the end zone. Tie ball game here in Athens.
Taking 3 Bobcat defenders with him into pay dirt. Nathan Rourke now with a 1st and 10 across the 25-yard line. Play fake, he gets hit as he throws, and the pass is on time. The catch by Poppy White. What a shot by Heath Harding on Nathan Rourke, and he got rid of it just in time.
Yeah, Nathan Rourke, he sees Miami stacking that box. They want to take the runaway. Okay, so that means a one-on-one matchup versus Poppy White. I'll take that all day long. That's what he says. Poppy White, good job. The ball's on the money. That's what makes this offense so dangerous.
Option. And the keeper by Rourke as he cuts it back right up the middle and into Miami territory. Heath Harding on the tackle. Boy, it looked like maybe one more step, he could have broke it.
These Miami defensive ends, Mike, they've got to do a better job in this. They're the key in this little read option. You'll see Ben Kempler has the play, could have had it Rourke tackle for maybe even a loss, but breaks a tackle, reverses his field, and you see the jets that guy has. He was one shoestring away from taking that all the way.
Fun start to this football game, to say the least, here on Halloween night, tied at 14. The Bobcats moving the football, and already a bunch of trickery here in this ball game. Each team's run a flea flicker. They've each scored 2 touchdowns. Fun night here in Athens. 15 minutes in the books. We are back with the start of the second quarter between the Bobcats and the Redhawks on ESPN College Football Prime Time. Stay where you are. All right, give us your pick, Rocky. What's the best one?
I'll take the hot dog on the right. Look at that.
Doesn't seem like he's having all that much fun.
Yeah. Look at that.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty cool. I'd give it to you on that one.
Happy Halloween, everyone. A good start to this game here in action between the Bobcats and the Redhawks. It is Ohio football. Dorian Brown on the carry, Akeem Allen on the tackle, and it looked scary, if you will.
Yeah.
For Miami to start this game, they were down 14-0. They've come back with 2 touchdowns.
They have, but now Ohio is starting to get some momentum going offensively.
Deep ball here for Cameron Odom. Crowd wants a flag. Cedric Assay was on coverage. No flags.
No, it looked like there might have been a little bit of grab there by Cedric Assay around the jersey or the belt buckle of Odom. See here on the replay. Well, not too much. Look, I'm a defensive guy. I'm not going to be begging for a call right there. I say let the wide receivers earn it. Let them earn their catches. I'll take that.
3rd down and 10 now for the Bobcats. Rourke, pressure, gets rid of it. It's tipped and it's incomplete. And almost intercepted by Assay. And Poppy White got a hand on it for Ohio, but almost tipped it right into his hands.
I thought that was a better strategy there versus blitzing Rourke like they did last time, allowing him some escape lanes. They dropped 7 guys into coverage, almost coming with a big play.
But I like how Miami is showing multiple looks defensively.
Yeah.
You can't do the same thing all night. They'll just pick you apart.
Right, exactly. No, they're going to be dropping some guys out. They'll run some zone blitzes, but a good job forcing the punt.
Murphy calling for the fair catch and has it just inside his 10-yard line. We're just underway in the second quarter. 14 all. Miami back on offense deep in their own territory. There's Nathan Rourke.
And I'll tell you what, Mike, it's almost like it's 1999 all over again. Eric Crouch, how about this guy? Very similar, right? Frank Solich loves these running quarterbacks. That's some of the first-hand experience against this guy. Year 2000, Nebraska came to our place at Notre Dame. They got the 2 overtime victory. Well, how about Eric Croucher, won the Heisman Trophy that year? I'll tell you what, if he got in the open field, it was over. And Nathan Rourke, not that much different. He just needs a little crease, and he can make you pay with his legs.
Yeah, Frank Solich back in the day in Nebraska for a number of years, coaching him and many more greats, and now has been in Ohio for the last 13 seasons. Think back to some of the coaches, you know, in the changing world of college coaching, and he is the 3rd longest tenured head coach.
Yeah, this world, everyone's bouncing around, everyone's firing their coach if they've had one bad season. But Ohio knows what they have here in Frank Solich, a guy who knows football. As I said earlier, been around it for 50 years and still has a tremendous amount of energy. 2nd down and 5 as it goes to Smith. And Evan Crouch on the tackle for Ohio. It's going to set up a 3rd down and about 3 here for Miami. I'll tell you, a name we have not called yet for Ohio defensively is their star linebacker, Quentin Pauling. Fantastic player. I think he's been around here for about 8 years. I feel like I've been calling his name for a while, number 32 for Pauling. But
there he is. I agree with you. He has 1 tackle so far tonight, 1 more solo tackle. He is number 1 in Ohio history.
He makes a ton of plays. It's only a matter of time before he gets going.
Miami's going to spread him out on 3rd and 5. Ball's pass intercepted, picked off by Jalen Fox. And Fox is spinning his way inside the 5-yard line for Ohio. Second interception of the season for Fox.
It just looked like the quarterback and the wide receiver were not on the same page. I don't know if the wide receiver read the coverage. Because I can't believe he just overthrew the tight end there. I think he was looking for, I believe that was Sam Martin or Jared Murphy. And Murphy ran a streak route down the field, and then Ball thought he was going to come back and sit in that window.
And he's trying to plead his case to Coach Martin.
He's saying, look, I thought the wide receiver was supposed to be there. And they got to calm him down a little bit. He's had a good game here. He's got to relax. I know no one wants to throw interceptions here, but go calm down. He's played a good game other than those 2 picks.
Now Rourke, nowhere to go here on this option play, and he's going to be held up and a loss of a couple. Nice job by the Miami defense in an unsettled situation. Brad Koenig on the tackle.
That's what you got to do. Miami's just got to get a little bit of penetration, but you just keep playing down that line. The defensive ends have got to show up and seal off that edge.
It has to be tough for Ball, but you think about it, he has thrown 2 picks. He almost threw a third. However, he does have a touchdown pass, and it's a tie ball game.
Yeah,
hang in there.
Yeah, hang in there. It's, he's an emotional guy, as most good players are. Calm down and get back to him here after this. Hopefully, the Red Hawks defense can hold.
Option again with Ouellette out there. Rourke is going to keep it, and Rourke, touchdown, Ohio, his second tonight.
Just like a good zone running back, Mike, Rourke is very patient. He waits for the blocks to develop as the offensive line is zoning to the outside. Then once he sees his crease, he cuts it upfield, then breaks a few arm tackles for the touchdown.
So the Bobcats with a short field after the turnover. And Zervos makes it 21-14 Ohio. Just over 3 minutes into this second quarter. Couple turnovers by the Red Hawks. And Ohio has capitalized on now the 15th rushing touchdown of the season by the quarterback, Nathan Rourke. Nathan Rourke has 15 rushing touchdowns for Ohio, the second most in a season by any player, not just quarterbacks. How do you stop this? The latest was a 7-yard touchdown.
Well, it's tough right now because Miami can't stop either. Not really taking the dive away, and then, of course, not taking away the edge run there, the keeper by Rourke. And he's so good at reading that, decisive in the read, and he's patient behind the zone. And then once he gets a little bit of a window, he can break tackles.
Here's Kenny Young. We'll have it at his own 6-yard line for Miami. Dashes across the 25. Now the story here is what kind of mindset is Billy Ball in right now, the quarterback for the Miami Red Hawks?
Yeah, and this isn't good. This little confrontation, if you will, between he and Martin overflowed well after that play. And I think Ball is saying, look, the wide receiver is supposed to turn around and sit in that zone. And Chuck's saying, look, either way, you can't throw that football right there. And then it goes down. The argument continues, Mike. Look at this. And Billy Ball has got to find a way to calm down. His teammates got to come and get him calm, cool, and collected here. They're still very much in this ball game.
Ball's first pass here is going out to Ryan Smith on this set, and he has a first down reception. Nice job across the 40-yard line. Billy Ball was a guy that started the first 5 games last year. He got hurt. They went with Noah Wazinski, who's now not on the team, who made 1 start. They lost that game. Then they brought in Gus Ragland, and they won their final 6 games in a row to become bowl eligible and go to a bowl for the first time since 2011.
Yeah, and Gus Ragland, he was the lightning rod last year. Again, he was coming off an injury, 3rd-string quarterback. No one thought a ton of him, but he's a gamer. Came in there and led them to a lot of nice wins. He's again hurt here this year. Went out in the Bowling Green game, and Billy Ball has taken over since.
Ball with play action. Taking a shot deep, and that's just overthrown No flags. Gardner was the intended target. If you're going to do that and loft one up there, Gardner's the guy you want to be the recipient.
He's the guy you want, and I'm interested to see Ohio's plan right now for covering James Gardner, because right now they don't really have one. Their cornerbacks are undersized. Jamal Hudson on that play, who's a 5'11" cornerback, but with that sort of height, right, the quarterback's just got to get the ball up to him, and he's already shown tonight he can pull one out of the sky.
Second down carry by Kenny Young and Ohio. And there it is, Quentin Poling, who you mentioned, Rocky. That tackle, what a perfect way for him to become the all-time leader in solo tackles at Ohio University.
With the exclamation point, right? He's so good at reading. He knows defenses. He knows offenses. Any good linebacker has to have great eyes, Mike, and he has them. He can see his peripheral. He sees where the offensive linemen are pulling, keeps the quarterback and the running back in his vision, and makes plays like that.
Absolutely. And appropriate. It was a tackle for a loss as well. As ball's pass incomplete on 3rd down and 11. They wanted Gardner again, who was again covered by Jamal Hudson.
Timing just not there right now between Ball and Gardner. Now Chuck Martin's giving it to Gardner.
.10:22 second quarter. Still so much time left in this game as Kyle Kramer will punt to Kylan Nelson. Nelson and the troops are there, and is going to be brought down at the 15-yard line. Nathan Rourke and the Ohio Bobcats back on the field when we return. He already has 2 rushing touchdowns. What happens on this series?
ESPN College Football, brought to you by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. And Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
Halloween night in Athens, Ohio here tonight. Good to have you with us for action between the Bobcats and the Red Hawks. Mike Corey alongside former Notre Dame captain and Super Bowl champion linebacker Rocky Boyman. As you look at DeAndre Montgomery, he is on the sidelines. That is the second leading tackler for Miami, and not able to go right now as they keep it on the ground. Ohio does on 1st down by Olette.
And that's big, Mike. He's a linebacker, and versus this sort of scheme with the zone read and the read option stuff, those linebackers are the ones that get in there and make the tackles. So without your second leading tackler, it's going to be tough sledding for him. I think he's going to try to get it going.
And so with Montgomery out, it's Kobe Burse, 27 for the Red Hawks, the sophomore linebacker that takes his place.
So Miami stacking the box, that safety down in there tight. Reed.
Olette held up at the 21, maybe the 22, is going to set up a 3rd down here. Josh Allen, Nate Trawick on the combo tackle for the Red Hawks. You can see him limping on that sideline, just trying to walk it off here and hopefully get back into the game.
Run around, get it limbered up, get a little blood flow to it. They're going to need him tonight.
Temperature's going to get down around 30 degrees here tonight.
And Miami's got to get some pressure here, but they also can't allow some rush lanes, because this is a situation where Nathan Rourke will pick up the 1st down with his legs if you let him.
He started 4 for 4 passing. He's 1 for his last 5. That's a nice connection, but what a hit. And Harding on Olette that time. Stuck him, and he's going to be shy of the 1st. Wow, what a play.
What a collision, Heath Harding. Tell you what, Olette doesn't go down easy, and Heath Harding just found that out. But a great break on the ball. You can see why he's, potentially a next level guy. Listen to this hit, Mike. This is what you love about football. Whew, okay. When he's lucky, he's got to learn. He got to wrap up. I learned that. Got into college, especially in the NFL. Those guys don't go down with just a pop, no matter how hard it is.
Exactly right. If you make that play and that big hit, and then you don't follow through, and he ends up getting a 1st down somehow.
Oh, that's Yeah, that's something you absolutely can't have there.
Pop him back, you better make the tackle. Fresh off their remarkable comeback win over Penn State, J.T. Barrett and the 6th-ranked Ohio Buckeyes set to battle Iowa. That is coming up on Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, also available on the app. And the Buckeyes are right back in it.
How about J.T. Barrett? People giving up on him a couple games in the season last week, 4 touchdowns, and he was a great late, right? And he's now back in the Heisman race. And those sort of moments in those big games, that's what the voters love when it comes to the Heisman. He had a good one.
Kenny Young to the 40-yard line. Now, what about Penn State? We heard from game day all along that the loser of that game was done. They were out. What does Penn State need to have happen for them, for their chances at all, if any?
I think obviously they got to win out, and they got to hope that maybe the Michigan-Ohio State game at the end of the season, maybe somehow Michigan comes back and finds a way to win that game. That's one of the only ways I think Penn State can get in, which is unfortunate. Penn State is a really good team who lost a tough, tight game to a team that's playing great right now.
Ball on 2nd down, sideline, tipped, and again almost intercepted. Gardner the intended target, and Brad Ellis had a hand on it for Ohio.
Ball's just got to do a better job of, out of his peripheral vision, seeing those defenders. I think he sees a wide receiver and kind of locks in on him. You got to see where that coverage is. You got to anticipate that they're going to break on that football.
3rd down and 6.
On the bottom of your screen, he's been the big play guy. Single cover, they got a safety lurking over the top, though.
Bottom of the screen, Ellis again on coverage of Gardner. Do they go in that direction again? Ball, no, looking left the whole time. This time, up top, and it is incomplete. Luke Mayock almost brought it in. Would have been a remarkable catch over there.
And Billy put it up high where only the wide receiver could get it. It was a great throw. Great coverage by the defender. A risky throw. Mayock almost comes down with it, but doesn't.
There's been a lot of risky throws tonight, right?
He has. It's and you can't be careless with the football. He's been best tonight when he finds the open guy and boom, delivers the ball to him instead of try to force a lot of these throws.
2 guys back to return this punt. Neither will have a chance at it as Miami's punt from Kramer goes out of bounds. We get flag down. There was a flag on the field. Halfway through the 2nd quarter, as our referee Luke Richmond and company discuss it. With a 7-point Ohio lead, they'll have it back either inside of their own 20 or maybe a little bit better field position, depending on the call here.
Now, if this is a penalty on Ohio, create a 4th and short here for Miami.
Well, they're talking to Chuck Martin about it right now.
He wouldn't consider going for it here, would he? It's 4th and short.
Well, they'd still be on their own side of the field,
that'd
but
be pretty risky.
Illegal numbering. 2 players wearing number 4 on the receiving team. That penalty is declined. 1st down, Ohio.
broadcasters can't stand that. With the double number. You can't do that. We'll step aside. Back to Athens, Ohio after this.
ESPN, home of the New Year's Six and the College Football Playoff.
Semifinals on New Year's Day this year, January 1st, 2018. Welcome back to College Football Primetime on ESPN. From Athens, Ohio, Mike Corey, Rocky Boyman, and DeAndre Montgomery, the second leading tackler for the Miami Redhawks junior linebacker, was fighting it the whole way. He didn't want to go into the locker room. He wanted to get back in the game, but they're going back there to take a closer look at him. So he's out. Nathan Rourke and Ohio back on offense. Play fake. Going sideline, Poppy White has the catch, and a first down for Ohio.
We were just talking, we'd love to see them get Poppy White back involved in this game because he's a dynamic playmaker. And they just find creative ways, Mike, to get him the football, a little bubble screen, and he just takes it upfield. A great job of recognition. He finds that hole a little bit deeper in the zone there.
Back to the outside. This catch is made by Ohio's Andrew Meyer.
So they've had 2 pass plays to the perimeter. It's going to soften that defense up, and now here comes the run. There we go.
Keeper by Rourke, and he's going to be brought down for a loss. Nice play, Kobe Burst, and that's the backup to Montgomery there at linebacker. He makes the play. It'll be 3rd and 2.
It's one of the best jobs we've seen on that zone read there all night. Great job by Burst. These guys on those edges have got to be so good versus this scheme.
Things have settled down a little bit. The first 5 possessions of the night here with these two teams, we had 4 touchdowns. We've had the last 7 just 1 score. Rourke has 2 of the 3 touchdowns rushing himself for Ohio. 3rd and 2. Give to Brown. And it's going to be close. Got a little extra effort at the end. He needs to get to the 45.
The initial contact, he was definitely stopped short. We'll see what they spot the ball in the second effort. They might give it to him here.
And this you might have to feel is 4-down territory for Ohio.
I don't think Ohio's going to love that spot.
Yep.
Either way, it looks like their offense is staying on the field.
Half a yard for the first on 4th down.
This is where Ohio has so much confidence in their big offensive line. They figure they can move some bodies off and pick up this first.
Oh, and Miami jumping.
Offside. Defense, number 5. The penalty results in the first down.
Yeah, see, you could jump there to get back, but they had made contact.
Right. But Junior Ramones is a junior. He knows he can't be that antsy on that play there, coming up like that. There's no reason for it. Contact with the offensive line. First down, Ohio.
Well, McMullen's got to be antsy. He's missed the last 3 games, one of their best players, and trying to get back into action. The linebacker caused a first down, though, and it's Brown who rips off about 7 on a first down run. This game is crucial here, especially for the Miami Redhawks, really for their season right now, to try to keep pace in the MAC. This is the East standings, Rocky, and at 3-5, they really feel like their record should have been flipped at 5-3.
Yeah, they've lost so many close games, really in the last 3 to 4 minutes of the game, but they're sitting at 2-2 in the conference, and obviously a big win tonight would put them right back in the mix.
You go to 3-2, you tie Ohio, and you have the tiebreaker.
Yep.
Brown, first down run inside the 30. Brad Koenig on the tackle for Miami. Fresh set of downs, though, for the Bobcats. Coming up at the 4-minute mark.
Yeah, I saw the penalty there by Junior McMullen. It's kind of been the story, right? A penalty here and then a turnover here has just really been the difference, and all their mistakes seem to have really hurt them. You know what I mean? They don't get to play the fumble ball versus Bowling Green. Guy takes it all the way back 99 yards for a touchdown. Their mistakes have been very costly this season.
Rourke, that's a dangerous pass. Coverage was there, and it was Brendan Cope, the intended target. Tony Reed and Heath Harding sandwiched him that time for Miami.
Yeah, Heath Harding, great cover guy, 5th-year senior.
Now this is where Miami has to kind of dig in deep here, try to hold them to, they're within field goal range here, but the way they have played, like you said, with some of the turnovers, 7-point, 10-point game, not all that bad, given what's happened. Rourke steps up, guns it, it's tipped and almost incomplete off the hands of Poppy White, almost intercepted. It was Matt Merrimee that time that was there, 22.
Yeah, and Poppy White was open, and Nathan Rourke threw a speedball to him right over the middle of the field. That thing had some pop to it. And he drops back and just laces one in. Poppy White should have had that ball, and lucky Miami didn't pick it off.
All right, so 3rd down and 10. Field goal from this distance, about a 46-yarder if they don't pick anything up.
You got Brendan Cope at the bottom of your screen. He's the go-to guy. Poppy White at the top.
Pressure. Rourke goes right up the middle, and he's going to have the first down. You can almost kind of see that, Rocky, the way it came from the ends, and Rourke recognized it.
Yeah, and that's why it's so hard to pressure Nathan Rourke. I talked about it early in the game. It just opens up his rush lanes and a little bit of a stunt. The defensive tackle slant to the outside, opens up the middle, and Nathan Rourke says, thank you very much.
And you saw that replay. You had Josh Mays in there. That defensive lineman had a hand on him, but Rourke is so elusive, and there's no way he was going to bring him down. Gain of 12 and a first down for Ohio. Dorian Brown. And gets a couple inside of the 15-yard line. Darius Thompson, the first on the scene for Miami. This is a long, sustained drive here by Ohio, Rocky, and doing a nice job using clock here towards the end of this first half.
Yeah, and good balance as well. Some quarterback runs. We've got some runs by Dorian Brown. A few passes. Keep you off balance on defense.
The 11th play of the drive coming up. Rourke to the end zone. It is caught. Poppy White, touchdown, Bobcats. Flag on the field. Poppy White.
I think they're going to get him with some unsportsmanlike conduct after that penalty.
Spinning the football there at the end. Cedric Assay was on coverage. Here's the call.
The touchdown is good. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 4 of the offense. That is his first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
How about this throw by Nathan Rourke? Poppy White back shoulder throw, right where only Poppy White can get it, but then tremendous hands. You can see why Ohio was happy to have him back. He's had the hand injury. You can see that pad on his left hand not affecting him for the touchdown.
Yeah, that's it, Rocky. You said it, tremendous hands. He broke his hand. He had surgery. He missed 4 games and still a little bit wrapped up there, and he's able to haul that pass in for the touchdown.
Yeah, tremendous. Again, getting him back is key to this game because now it's just Brendan Cope. They got the other answer on the other side.
Halloween night here in Athens. Ohio leads it by 2 touchdowns late in the first half. (28-14), Ohio leads it with 2:13 to play in this first half.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, it's just the balance by Ohio's offense. It's I played defense my whole life, Mike, and when a team does 2 things well, it's so hard to stop them. Usually you try to take away one, okay, make them force them to run the ball. Well, when Miami forces them to run, they pick up yards that way. So then they stack the box, bring it in, and then Nathan Rourke with some pinpoint accuracy on the outside. Great job by this offense.
Shorter kick here, and Alonzo Smith is going to take it back for Miami, but not get too far. 28-yard line, and the Red Hawks have it with 2 timeouts and 2:05 to work with. And coming up, college football this Saturday on ABC. Again, Clemson and NC State. It's going to be at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll follow that up at 8 Eastern with the 13th ranked Virginia Tech Hokies and number 10 Miami. The Hurricanes undefeated at 7-0, coming your way this Saturday on ESPN, ABC, streaming live on the app.
In Miami, they've lived a charmed life this year. They've always found a way to get it done. Hasn't looked so pretty, but see the standing top 2 teams in the Coastal, Miami and Virginia Tech, going at it.
Ball's pass, Gardner on the catch. and held up right on the spot. It was Brad Ellis who was first there to make the tackle for Ohio.
We're going to see a lot of James Gardner on this drive. He's not in right now, but I'd love to see them get Kenny Young back involved in this pass game out of the backfield. He's so good catching the ball, makes some guys miss.
He's dynamic. Talking about number 3, Gardner, and this time intended for Ryan Smith, incomplete. You know, his receivers too. I mean, they got to help ball out.
There's been a few balls. You're right, Mike. They need to pull in there, because if they don't, you see they pop up in the air, and the way Ohio's defensive backs close, could be trouble. Already 2 picks on the night.
Gardner has the touchdown catch. Ball has the 1 touchdown pass with 2 picks. 8 targets tonight to Gardner, 4 receptions. It's 3rd down and 4 from Miami. Ball, there's Gardner. 1st down catch, gets away from 2 defenders. Only gets an extra yard or so, but that shows you the strength of 6'4", 216-pound James Gardner.
Yeah, big moments, Mike. You got to go to your best player, and they go right to Gardner on the slant. 3-step, puts his right foot in the ground. And see how he shielded that ball with his body? The defender couldn't get around him to put a left arm out there to make a play. Nice job.
Ball standing tall and airs it out again. Incomplete. And Ellis had the best chance at that one for Ohio, who had the step basically back there on Gardner.
And I know that Billy Ball figures that James Gardner's going to get down the field uninterrupted, but you know, the defensive backs, they know what James Gardner's about, and they want to try to get a jam on him and disrupt that time. He can't throw that ball.
Nothing wrong about the previous one where you can go on a slant where he could shield the defender with his body and kind of play basketball there on some of those.
But on a play like that, a deep fade down the sideline, you know, with that defender's out in front of him getting his hands on him, it's very risky.
Ball again, and that one, no real chance for Luke Mayock on the sideline. 1:01 left. 2 timeouts still for Miami. It's a 3rd and 10 though at their own 45.
And what you miss, you know, if Gus Ragland's in that ball game, in the ball game right now, he picks up that 1st down with his legs, or at least gets 6 yards, 8 yards, making it a more manageable down. But Billy Ball is not a guy that's very dynamic with his legs. It makes it tough in college football. Gardner again bobbing the screen. Ohio's going to take away the slant. That's where they went last time.
And that matchup all night, Gardner and Ellis. And ball goes there, and Gardner has it this time. Oh, what a play. Will move and gets inside the 25-yard line. What I was alluding to there, right, Rocky, where he turned, spun, and shielded off the defender.
Yeah, using his body well, like a basketball player. I couldn't believe that play. It looked like they had Javon Hagan was going to sit right in that slant, because they knew it came there last time, and instead he blitzes, and it opens up the window there, and Ball puts it on the money to Gardner.
Right back to work for Alonzo Smith.
Yeah, I think if you're Ohio, you got to figure that play is coming. It worked one time. Miami's going to come back to it. Instead, they try to blitz, and Ball makes them pay.
Gardner is over 100 yards receiving here today with 6 catches.
Just love when receivers, you know, use your body well. You big target. You know, it's easy for the quarterback to see. And right now, if you're Ohio, you can start rolling a safety over top of him. Clearly, Miami says this is our best option. They're trying to go with him and go his way with the football. I do something that cover 2 look, keep a corner underneath and a safety over top, put another safety in that slant window. They know that's where the ball's going.
I mean, the difference in size that he has over the senior cornerback Brad Ellis at 5'10".
Yeah, and Miami knows that. Yeah, they know that they have the height advantage, maybe even the advantage in athleticism. They're going to go there. Ohio, take their best option away. Make them beat you with their 2nd or their 3rd best wide receiver.
37 seconds left, 2nd and 5. They still have 1 timeout remaining.
Ohio's going to play their corners deep here.
Smith, head down, inside the 10. Holding on to the football, is pushed down to the 7, maybe the 6.
He just doesn't want to go down. I love his second effort. I'll tell you what, though, Mike, he's got to be careful with those second efforts. I've seen it a million times, getting careless with the football, right? You always want to fight, get those extra yards, and sometimes when you do that, get careless with the ball.
And you're right, you're going to have 2 or 3 defenders, too, converging and trying to bring it down.
All right, the more you stay up, the more those second, third, fourth guys are coming in. They're going to try to rip at that ball. He's got to be careful.
10-yard play. 1st and goal here for Miami at the 6.
How big will this be for Miami to get a score here before half?
And Miami takes their last timeout.
Timeout, Ohio. That is their first charge timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
It's Ohio with a timeout.
Allstate is proud to be part of the team that comes together to do good by contributing to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. To date, Allstate has contributed millions in scholarship funds. Now, here's the thing. You talk about how big this would be for Miami to get a touchdown, Rocky. They get the ball to start the second half. And after all that they've been through with a couple of turnovers and a short field for Ohio that they've had to work with, you get one here. It's a one-possession game. You get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah,
not too bad.
You're right. I mean, you get a score here. You go into halftime and say, look, we've done some bad things. We've turned the ball over twice. We've given up a lot of run yardage. But we're still in this game. It's so important to get a score here, again, with getting the ball coming back out in the third quarter.
Miami still does have the one timeout. The previous was by Ohio, so they've got one timeout left, 29 seconds to go.
Kenny Young back in the game. He's good this area of the field, the running back spot.
You were asking for him. You're right. He's back in to the right of ball. And he's got it on the catch. And out of bounds, stopping the clock. 24 seconds to go, inching their way closer to pay dirt.
He's so good out of the backfield. I just wish they'd utilize him more that way. He catches everything. He makes some guys miss, but pick up a few yards on that play.
That's a junior out of Tallahassee, Florida, Kenny Young. 2nd down and goal. Ball lofts it up. Gardner, yes! James Gardner with the catch for the touchdown.
We said they better have a plan for Gardner, but look, how many times we talked about it, Mike? He's 6'4". Brad Ellis is 5'10". It's good coverage, but what can Brad Ellis do? That's a perfectly covered wide receiver. But today's football, you mismatch advantage, use athleticism, height. You put the ball up where the defender can't get it. Touchdown. Great job by Ball.
Nice pass that time, too, by Billy Ball. Absolutely. He's got 2 touchdown passes in this game. And that was a 10-play, 72-yard drive to perfection with 1 minute and 48 seconds leaving Ohio with just 17 seconds left in this first half.
And you look at Ohio's secondary, they don't have any taller cover guys. All their guys are 5'11" and under. A lot of 5'10" guys. It's going to be tough.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. What can they do? I mean, that's one of their best guys, and you got to get maybe another defender over there, something.
Yeah, you got to get another defender over the top, but you also got to get some pressure on the quarterback in that situation. He had plenty of time to throw that ball. He puts it where only Gardner can get it. Great pass, and Miami back in this game.
I mean, if it's going to be a one-on-one, he's going to win that every time.
Right. It makes it tough. And this is what college football has become because, defensively, because of tempo and things like that, you're forced to play man-to-man. Well, if you're going to play man-to-man, the way to beat that is to have those guys that are 6'4" on the outside that can jump out of the stadium and pull the ball down. That's it's hard to beat that sort of size advantage, but Ohio's got to find a way to do it.
Ohio has won 4 straight in the series over Miami. The Redhawks have not won here in Ohio since 2005. Trying to break that streak here tonight on Halloween, and we are at a 7-point ball game. A short kick here for Ohio, and nice job though by Mason Morgan to get all the way up close to midfield and hang on. They're going to have a chance at a possible field goal here with 11 seconds left.
Yeah, got 2 timeouts. You figure try something down the sideline, which is what they do well. Those shots down the sideline, pick up 25 yards. Here you got a field goal. Just not a good time to allow one to score out there in a quick return.
Their field goal kicker, Louis Zervos, had a freshman record for field goals in a season last year with 29. He already has 10 made field goals this year, as long as from 46.
And I think you got to cover up Brendan Cope, but you also got to be aware of Nathan Rourke scrambling and picking up yards. We've seen it happen many times tonight. He can find a way to pick up 20. They got those 2 timeouts.
Yeah, they need 23 yards to be at Zervos' long of 46 for an attempt. 6 DBs in right now for Miami. First down, Rourke. It's just what they wanted. Sideline catch by Cope. Clock reads 6 seconds. You've got time for another play here, Rocky.
Certainly got one more play here.
12-yard reception. They're at the Miami 40-yard line. 2 timeouts, 6 seconds left. Got to be quick. Right back to the bottom. They do it again, and out of bounds on the catch is Troy Mangin, and that's going to set up the field goal here now for the Bobcats.
They didn't get near as many yards as they wanted here. I don't know if they'll be able to kick one. Yeah, Rourke saying, maybe give me another shot. Now they're going to bring on the field goal team.
It's going to be a 51-yard attempt. Zervos.
No real wind to speak of down there. Good conditions for a kick.
Louis Zervos, 51-yarder. It's going to be short. And that's how the half is going to end up. So a valiant effort there at the end by Ohio. And
that is the end of the first half.
There's a lot to watch for in this second half. Ohio's been outscoring their opponents like crazy in the third quarter.
How about that?
Yep,
Yeah.
Miami has struggled in the fourth. However, Miami's going to receive the second half kickoff, and they're down by only 7.
Ton of momentum. They get the score right before half there. Go into halftime, make a few adjustments, come back with the ball. They're in this game.
Ohio 28, Miami 21. Now let's get you to the studio for our halftime report. Welcome back. Halloween night here on this Tuesday in Athens, Ohio from Action. The Bobcats and the Red Hawks. We've seen some pretty outstanding costumes here tonight throughout
Not bad,
the
yeah.
stadium.
Well, that guy there. I don't know what that is, but it's cool.
Is anybody handing out candy out there as well? We just had some up here in the booth, a couple of Kit Kats. We've got some Tootsie Rolls and all this kind of good stuff.
I got a
here.
3.5-year-old son. I can't wait to get home and see what pick through his candy.
That's right. Bo's going to be waiting for some candy back home here. Let's take a look at what Nathan Rourke has done tonight so far for Ohio.
Well, we built him, Mike, as a dual threat guy. Gets it done with his legs and through the air. He's done that tonight. The rushing touchdown then finds Brandon Cope down the sideline. But again, they get close to the end zone. He loves running it in this situation. 2 touchdowns rushing, 2 touchdowns passing, and he's certainly getting it done, the sophomore quarterback.
Already second all-time in Ohio history with 15 rushing touchdowns of anybody, running back or quarterback, and he has been dominant, that's for sure, and those are his numbers tonight with the 2 in the air and the 2 on the ground. And Ohio that got off to a 14-0 advantage. Good job by the Red Hawks to come back, tied it at 14. Then it went 28-14 Ohio. Late score by Miami, and now they get the ball to start the second half here, and we'll see if they can tie it back up.
And Ohio's been the team that comes out of halftime smoking, right? And Miami not so much. We'll see if they can put together a drive here, tie this game up.
Alonzo Smith on the return, and just a couple yards shy of the 30-yard line. So the big guy for Miami in that first half was James Garner, the junior wide receiver.
Yeah, Garner was fantastic. 7 receptions, 105 yards. And if I'm Ohio right now, I am making anybody else but Gardner beat me. I want to see if their second or their third wide receiver, Murphy or Martin, because right now, James Gardner is just making everyone look silly out there. They have a significant height advantage with Gardner and the cornerback. We saw just before the half jumping up over top. It's great coverage, but there's nothing you can do. I'm just a big believer, Mike. You take away a team's best option. You'll see if they can beat you with their second or their third option. I have to imagine that's part of the game plan for Ohio. So they got to they got to put a guy man-to-man on him, a safety over the top, some cover too, something makes someone else beat you than number 81.
That's almost half of the team's receptions tonight. After the Kenny Young run on first down, we have 2nd and 6. Ball gets it out, and that was Jared Murphy over there for the catch for a yard shy of the first down.
They're in a corner blitz there. James Gardner was wide open. If they go, there was no one that touched him. But Ball had to get the ball out of his hand quick.
3rd down and 1 for Miami to start this second half. Alonzo Smith is going to be in the backfield for Billy Ball and company.
Remember the first half, him second effort runs, done a great job, Alonzo Smith.
Smith hit initially in the backfield, and he's going to lose yardage. Elias Motley was the first on the scene for Ohio.
Motley, Quentin Pauling,
Evan Crouch as well.
Yeah. What a great stop. We talked about how good Ohio is coming out of halftime. They make some adjustments. They forced a quick 3 and out, and they give the ball back to their dynamic offense.
Kramer almost got it blocked. It'll take a Miami bounce, and they'll stop it just inside the 25-yard line. Pretty good balance from Ohio in this first half that we saw. A lot of different players involved, and of course you got the running ability from Nathan Rourke, but overall, you see the yardage.
There's so many different aspects to their offense. We saw in the first half, they start getting some runs going. A.J. Olette up the middle, and Miami would close down, bring the safety, creep him up in the box, and then once they see the one-on-one single coverage to the outside, then it's Nathan Rourke through the air. So good cat and mouse game going on right now, but Nathan Rourke is winning it.
Play fake to Olette. Rourke over the middle. Poppy White on the catch to midfield. Got in front of the defender, Josh Allen. And now the ball comes out here. Let's see. Miami saying it's their ball. They'll say he was down.
Move Poppy White around, find multiple positions to get him the football. Now, if we're going to try to get a playoff here, Chuck Martin, I think, would. Yeah, there we go.
I was going to say, how about that?
He had to been quick on that, but let's take a look at that. It looked like the defender was pulled the ball out. I think it was Tony Reed, who, by the way, is playing with a cast. If I'm not, yeah. He only has one hand he can use. He was able to possibly pull that ball out.
The rolling on the field is a completed pass. The previous play is under further review.
The question is going to be, was Poppy White down? Because Reed came up with the ball.
And ripped it out.
Right, was he down before? We'll get a chance to look at it here on the replay. Ball's kind of fumbling around.
There's his knee. His left knee was down.
Yeah, I think that one's
going to stay Ohio football. Yeah, you saw that cast there on the right hand. Tony Reed. Here's the catch. Left knee down, still has the ball. Then he rolls around and he tries to rip it out.
He didn't get the ball secured initially. You see that ball moving around a little bit, but I think just as he's getting ready to go down, he secures the ball and pops out. I don't know.
Yeah,
that angle there.
See the ball moving a little bit.
The question is going to be is when do they say he had reception or possession of the ball?
Yeah, they say he has possession of the ball there.
Which is, remember the rule is always you got to control the ball through the process of the catch. And this is always such a gray area. Ball's moving around. It's one of those ones when it's in real speed, it looks like he had the ball secured. You start slowing it down.
That's one thing that, when we've talked to the officials about this, you have to sometimes watch these replays in real speed.
I agree.
If you slow anything down, you can make it look like anything you want. Like, oh, he's got the ball. Does he really, though? You have to watch it in real speed. That's how the officials call it. That's almost how sometimes you have to review it, or you can do anything.
Right. You start going frame by frame. Sometimes you can talk yourself into a lot. Let's get a look at it in real time. Looks like he's down. And then as he's...
Review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Ohio.
Again, when we saw it in real time, he looks like he's down. You start going frame by frame. Maybe the ball is moving around a little bit. I think that's the right call.
And Chuck Martin's not happy, but you heard him say the ruling on the field stands, which is what was called on the field. Not confirmed, but not enough to overturn that, and it's going to stay Ohio football. They have it at midfield after the catch by White. He's had a solid night tonight. 5 catches, 80 yards, including the touchdown.
Miami will not be charged a timeout as we were buzzed by replay.
That's a good job by the crew there. Luke Richmond's our referee. Ken Kester, our replay official, with John Sullivan, our communicator tonight here at Ohio. It's Ouellette for about 3 to the 47 of the Red Hawks. A.J. Ouellette, guy that's rushed for over 100 yards in 4 of the last 6 weeks. Former walk-on a couple years back.
And that's the thing about this Ohio run game, this offensive line. Okay, it was just a 3-yard run, but they just keep wearing on a lot of 300-pound bodies. And then late in the 4th quarter, those runs by Ouellette start to break.
And a nice tackle here. Josh Allen in the backfield on Ouellette. That time is going to lose some yardage.
I love it when a cornerback comes up and fires his gun. If you're gonna miss a tackle, make it full speed and make it in an attacking manner. Don't sit back and wait for the offensive guy to dictate. Open space comes up, bang, right there, get him on the ground.
Allen's done a little bit of everything this season, and now we're back to a 3rd down and 9. Rourke is chased out of the pocket, throws, and it is dropped, incomplete. Almost hauled in over there, and a good job. Cope was the intended target. Daniels on coverage.
Yeah, DeAndre Daniels, a great job pulling this ball, slapping away this ball, not giving up on it. I brought some late pressure off the outside. Yeah.
It was Daniels that was able to get in there, and Michael Farkas punting to Jared Murphy. Fair catch, Red Hawks. Still a 7-point ball game, and their second offensive possession of the second half when we return.
ESPN, home of the New Year's Six and the College Football Playoff.
College football playoff top 10 and the top 25, I should say, came out tonight. Here's a look at the 6 right now. And their first week, Georgia's got South Carolina at home. Alabama is home to LSU this week. What do you think, Rocky?
I don't know. I'll tell you what, a lot of people disagree, especially Alabama fans. I agree with Georgia being at number 1. I think they have the best win of the year, beating Notre Dame at home, had a good, nice win over Florida. Their offense has been explosive. Defense holding teams down to a few points.
Well, how about your rankings here of what we've seen so from tonight coming in, what you thought?
So I gave mine earlier today before the rankings came out, and I have Clemson a little bit lower than the committee did. I'm a little bit bigger on Miami than a lot. I think they had them at 10. You know, the only undefeated team in the ACC. I think, I just like the way they're playing. I think they're finding ways to win. Quarterback's doing a good job, Rozier.
Good run here by Kenny Young, but still they're going to be well shy. You got third down and long coming up now, and you like to see Young out there. Evan Crouch in the tackle. What happens here on third down now for Miami?
And for Miami, you got to go to the money man, who's been James Gardner tonight. 7 receptions for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. He's the bottom of your screen. Ohio, I don't know how you can just single cover him. See if they have a plan.
Well, they've got Jalen Fox on him this time. He does have an interception tonight. Fox does. So a change up in coverage there. Billy Ball escapes pressure. Tries to get it to him, and it's incomplete.
He was open. It was just Ohio finally got some pressure on Billy Ball, forced him to move around the pocket a lot. Kevin Robbins.
.946 to go in the third, and ball trots off the field with a 7-point deficit still. It should be pretty good field position for Ohio after this kick. Both Poppy White and Kyla Nelson back to return, standing at their own 45. It's going to be Nelson. Gets a block and gets up close to midfield. Kobe Burse on the tackle. All right, Rocky, ranking the rankings as they here. What do you have?
You saw my. How about that picture
I
there,
like that.
Mike? Good stuff there, George. I just think they have the best resume. Again, the best win of the year, beat Notre Dame at home. And Notre Dame has the best slot. Just 1 point to Georgia team has been explosive. I still think Miami's lurking. We'll find out a lot more about Miami here this week. They play Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. I think they can still find, finding ways to get it done, which I think is important. They're undefeated at this point.
Good to see Miami kind of back in the mix, right? 7-0.
Yeah, football is always better when the Hurricanes are good, right?
There's Olette, and he gets down to the 41. That's right at the first down marker.
I tell you what would just be interesting. Let's say Georgia wins out, Alabama wins out. SEC championship game. Let's say Alabama just squeaks one out late by a point or 3 points. You keep both those teams out? I don't think you can. People would lose their mind if 2 SEC teams in the playoff, but I don't know. And for Notre Dame, they got to win out. I don't think you can keep them out if they do. Notre Dame also needs NC State to keep doing well, Michigan State to keep winning, and I think they'll find themselves in that playoff if that happens.
How different could things been if Penn State was able to pull it out last week?
Yeah.
They dropped down to 7. They're on the outside looking in right now. Second down here for Ohio. Rourke. Escapability, and we'll get to the 35. Going to be about 4 yards shy of a first down. Good tackle here put on by Darius Thompson.
He's so dangerous in the open field. You're right. That was a great tackle.
All right, 3rd and 5, Ohio. Midway through the third.
Miami got to find number 4, Poppy White. He's in the slot to the bottom of the screen. He's been the go-to guy. They've moved him around, found him some mismatches. He finds some open space.
Flag is down. Didn't get it off.
Game offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Frank Solich. You played against him back in the day when you were at Notre Dame and against Nebraska.
1999, Nebraska came to our place. Whole crowd was red.
Yeah.
Nebraska fans, they want to win that double overtime. But again, this is where Ohio is so good here this season. Coming out in the third quarter, explosive. See if they can get it done.
Rourke, and not turning around in time was Poppy White after their first offensive penalty of the game, and they're going to be forced to punt now on a 4th and 10.
The ball a little underthrown as well. Thought they would go the direction of Poppy White. Another great stop for this Miami defense. This Miami defense is really settled in, right? I mean, first 2 drives of the game, they were totally on their heels. They settled down, getting a little pressure on Rourke, stopping that run, doing a good job.
Miami kind of gets one back. They had a penalty earlier that hurt them, and now an Ohio penalty hurts the Bobcats. But Miami deep in their own territory, down 7 when we come back.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Principal, Investments, Retirement, Insurance.
Those last couple, they got to be up there in our list of Halloween costumes tonight.
See some good ones tonight. That's the mascot.
Swoop.
Yeah. So there's Nathan Rourke.
Couple touchdown passes tonight, couple rushing for him as well to add to his total. And now the 3rd time that Miami starting inside of their own 20-yard line tonight in their 10th possession of the game. Ball's pass deflected, but it is also caught. And it's Smith for the first down catch of the 18-yard line.
Ball really loves Smith on these streak routes. Tight end comes right up the field. So a little play action. Pull the trigger.
That's
Poland
Poland.
got a hand on it.
Yep.
One thing about number 32, he's always around the ball.
Kenny Young, and taken down immediately. Nice tackle by Cleon Aloese.
See what, Aloese's had a real nice game tonight. Getting penetration, making some plays in the backfield.
It's the nose tackle, senior. 4th tackle of the night for him. Now here we go, 2nd down and 5. Check it, 2nd and 10. Smith in motion. Toss goes out to Young. And they're ready for him yet again. Now Marlon Brooks and Javon Hagan.
That was a great job by Hagan. Fights off the block, uses his hands. So if we get a shot at it here, use his hands, throw the blocker off, and then just a great open field tackle. Pull his trigger. There you go. Those good aggressive tackles on defense.
3rd down coming up. Got to find Gardner, of course.
Bottom of screen.
Billy Ball goes to the top.
Shoot his top.
Oh, there he is, and that's Gardner of the catch. And gets up close to the 45. How about the way he could drag tacklers for a 1st down and more?
Tall, powerful, strong. And they've been finding him on these slant routes here. You see they drop a linebacker underneath, but the linebacker gets twisted up and doesn't quite get underneath where Gardner breaks off the slant. A good job by Ball waiting a split second for that slant to break and hit Gardner in stride.
Pick up a 23, Rocky. He's got 8 catches for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Ball just slings it into the ground as pressure was coming in.
I was been able to bring some pressure at times here tonight.
Still foul for intentional grounding. There's a receiver in the area. Take it down.
See, but I'll tell you what, that was good by Ball, because how many times have we seen him this year? He'll try to force something, right? And throw the ball, put a ball into a bad situation here, just trying to make a play. He sees the rush, and he knows the screen's coming here, but hey, you know, no sense in waiting too long and getting that ball, get a hand on it, pop it up in the air.
And a good job to recognize that as receivers in the area.
Live to fight another day.
Now Smith, Alonzo Smith, and a 1st down run at a 43. Wyatt Shulman makes the tackle for Ohio.
I love about Alonzo Smith is he'll make a cut, but he always comes back to getting north-south with that football. Good vision, cutting it back across the grain.
And that's kind of the changeup that they have. He's more between the tackles guy.
Yeah, a little bit more between the tackles and younger. See that right there at the end? A lot of backs will just continue to take that ball to the outside, but he gets an extra 2 or 3 yards by planting that right leg and getting back north-south.
Ball dumps it off for Young. And that's the other aspect of this game we talk about. So you have Smith between the tackles runner. You got Kenny Young more in space and able to do that. Very good receiver. Very good receiver. I've liked him in the receiving game a lot this season. And just, would love to see them get him the ball more out there because he's quick. He makes guys miss. Right now, Miami on a nice drive. Kenny Young's also a guy that's lost a little bit of weight coming into the season, too. He's been agile to begin with, but he's up over 190 now, down to around 180. But very powerful. Second down, and the play clock was winding down. And did they get a timeout? They did.
Prior to the snap, timeout, Miami. That is their first charge timeout of the half, 30-second timeout.
2nd and 5 for the Redhawks when we come back. JT Barrett saving Ohio State's season last week in that remarkable comeback over Penn State. Now number 6 in the nation in the new college football playoff rankings. Set to battle Iowa Saturday at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN. Also available on the ESPN app. Now Penn State, who beat Iowa in their place earlier in the year in a great game, is now rooting for Iowa. Right. To maybe try to knock off the Buckeyes. I think that's what it's going to take somehow for Ohio State to get another loss in there for Penn State to have a chance to get back in. Penn State ranked 7th right now in the rankings that came out tonight for the first time. Ball's passed. Gardner, he has it again. What a catch. 25-yard line, first down. He ties a career high in receptions for a game now with 9. Set that back last year in October at Bowling Green. Ohio continues to single cover a guy who is a mismatch athletically and size-wise, and right now they have no answer. And the 141 yards is a new career high for him in terms of yardage. I just think you got to find a way to take him away, make them beat you with somebody else. Well, it's easier said than done for sure. And ball's pass is dropped by Smith. What about trying to get up and bump them off the line a little bit more? Is that something? Well, I think, but yeah, I don't think they just one-on-one have the ability to do that, to jam him and cover him, but you get a cornerback to jam him, disrupt the route, disrupt the timing, and then you roll a safety over top, should he get by the cornerback. Now they've got Marlon Brooks defending Gardner, so it's the 3rd different player that's been defending Gardner in this game. And he's going to go right back to him. Ball. Gardner, oh, he's got it. That is a touchdown. He does it again. Nobody can stop him. And Mike, they tried to roll the safety, Javon Hagan over top, but a perfect throw by Billy Ball. Just fantastic timing. So he gets no jam, doesn't disrupt the route, and then just a perfectly thrown ball. You see Javon Hagan coming over, but just not quite enough time. A little bit of a push there by each guy, if you watch that close enough with Marlon Brooks and James Gardner. No flags. James Gardner just having one of those kind of nights. He's on, he's feeling it. Fantastic player. He's out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. How did the other Miami let him get away? Really? Right? Yeah, he's sitting in their backyard, right? Maybe some plays for the Canes. And the extra point ties this game at 28. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to play. James Gardner with 3 touchdowns tonight. 3 different defenders have been on him. None have been able to stop him. What a game tonight here. Happy Halloween, everyone. Tied at 28 as we welcome you back to Athens, Ohio. Mike Corey and Rocky Boyman. How about it? Miami, they've come back from 2 14-point deficits twice tonight.
Yeah, they've answered, and it's been because of James Gardner. And right now, and this battle wasn't won tonight. It was won 3 years ago in recruiting when they go and get a 6'4" wide receiver. And that's why it's so important for your cornerbacks these days with so much man-to-man. Those guys got to be tall. They got to be able to get up and defend those taller wide receivers.
Now this kickoff goes out of bounds, setting up good field position for Ohio. Now Gardner, he has a career high in catches, yards, and touchdowns tonight.
And Mike, they've had 3 different cornerbacks try to cover him, and he's ran by every single one of them. There's Ellis. You know, it's been in the slant game. It's been deep. He goes up, gets the ball at high, points it. They just literally had no answer for Gardner on the night. Later on there, he beats 22 the freshman Brooks.
Well, and it's not always about just height, but I mean, the 3 guys there, Ellis is at 5'10", Jalen Fox has been on him before, he's 5'11", Brooks, we just saw in the touchdowns, 5'10".
Yeah, but if you're 5'10", you got to be able to jump, you got to be able to get up, because I mean, coverage-wise, they got good coverage, but those 6'4" receivers, Mike, 10, 11 feet up in the air, they're always open.
Dorian Brown, brought down by Pasquale Calcagno. Difference in the first half to the second half. Staggering here with Nathan Rourke, and he's just been shut down, at least not much through the air.
And remember, the third quarter has been where Ohio's done a lot of their damage this season, but right now Miami's defense shut them down.
And there's movement, flags fly.
Snap infraction, offense, number 52, 5-yard penalty, second down.
You don't see it too often from Jake Prees, who's had an outstanding career, senior who started every single season.
Yeah, with Prees, the center, and then the left guard, Joe Anderson. Those guys been playing a lot of football around here.
It's a staple for Ohio.
Yep.
43rd game starting at center for Prees. Second down and 16. Deep pass. Incomplete. And Poppy White was the intended target. Josh Allen had coverage there for Miami.
Good job of safety staying deep there. Rourke hasn't quite been near as accurate here in the second half as he was in the first.
Tables have been turned a little bit here. You get a third down stop if you're Miami, and you've got a chance to go up for the first time tonight.
And they've mixed it up on third down here tonight. They've dropped 8. They've brought some pressure.
Rourke guns it over the middle. The catch is made, and it's Andrew Meyer coming up big time at midfield. Through Kobe Burse and Keith Harding.
Has a big-time throw. And this is what an athletic quarterback can do. Escape a little bit, find the receiver just before the line, throw it up high. Great job for 20 yards. That's a killer for Miami. They've been playing great defense on that drive.
It's a 3rd and 16. Conversion for the Bobcats. A.J. Ouellette is in the backfield. Fleeflecker back to Rourke, and the pass is caught. And inside the 40-yard line is Jared Marhefka. And the first catch tonight for him, and that's the second flea flicker that we've had by Ohio, and the 3rd in the game here tonight.
Right. It's Halloween, Mike. They're bringing out all the tricks, right? But I think Miami did a good job here. You know, give up a few yards here, but usually those flea flickers can be a dagger deep.
Can't wait to see what happens at midnight here tonight.
Yeah, there you go.
Over. Rourke again, deep over the middle, and another reception is made. It's Cope, and he has it at the 10.
Check out this ball. In between the corner and the safety, laces it right in between them. Beautiful pass.
Probably tired of us showing his third quarter numbers and how paltry they were, and all of a sudden Nathan Rourke is now
right. He must have heard us up here, right? We're saying he didn't have it here in the third quarter, and all of a sudden, two beautiful throws.
27-yard reception. Ohio can get another first down at the 1-yard line. Rourke on the slant, the catch, and diving over the line is Marhefka. He's got it, touchdown.
Rourke is so good at moving in the pocket. The eyes always stay downfield. Just a little bit of a rollout to the right side as he feels the pressure. Still has his eyes on the receiver. 11-yard touchdown.
Jared Marhefka, who was out for a month with an injury, has come back in a big way here tonight. And really, it was all him on this drive. At least some of it hardly had been targeted all night. That one's up with a touchdown.
Nathan Rourke, dual threat guy, getting it done with his legs. And just as we said, it reminds me of this guy right here, Frank Solich, Eric Crouch. Boy, it was tough playing against this guy. So dynamic in the run game, and just when you thought you had that part of his game settled, he'd just drop a dime on you. Really, really good player. Number 7.
Frank Solich, the coach back in Nebraska. Coach that guy, and he's coaching this guy, and Nathan Rourke. Got to be tough to stop. But he can throw for 3 touchdowns. He's run for a couple. 29 seconds left in this third quarter. Just 2 minutes and 46 seconds for that last drive, and Ohio did it 65 yards in 6 plays. An excellent field position after that kickoff went out of bounds. And Miami's going to start just across their 25-yard line. I think we found a way to stop Eric Crouch. I think you got to get a pretty solid linebacker who's been able to make some plays, make some tackles. Look, this is Rocky Boyman.
Number 30. Look at him running down that. And Eric Crouch is about a 4.3 now. Look at that guy. God, look how young I used to be, man. Those are the good old days. Crowd going, what? Look at that hair, too, Mike.
The sideburns.
I love it. Got to give up to our Eric Poden, our producer, and those guys finding that clip there.
That was great.
You didn't believe me you didn't believe me when I told you that. Now I got the video to prove it.
Well, we were in the car today, and you were calling to schedule your haircut
right.
For this week.
That's right. The days of long hair are long gone, Mike, unfortunately.
As busy as life gets today, like you say, it takes all you can get just to get a haircut appointment these days.
Exactly. Between college football and kids, and not a lot of time, but boy, this is fun stuff.
And congratulations,
There's the end of the third quarter.
what you guys have been able to do here too with all this time and how long it takes as well. Third quarter in the books here tonight from Miami and Ohio battling in the MAC. 7-point game. Back with a fourth after this. We're set up for what should be a solid fourth quarter here tonight from Athens, Ohio. Welcome back to ESPN College Football Primetime. Mike Corey and Rocky Boyman, as it's a 7-point lead for the Bobcats. There are 2 quarterbacks, Billy Ball on the left and Nathan Rourke on the right. It is Miami football, second down to start the fourth quarter. Ball gets hit as he throws and throws it away. And now, you've mentioned it a few times, Rocky, again, another just smart play to get rid of that football. Don't make a mistake. Live to play another down.
Right. Remember on about the third throw of the game, he throws one in the air and it nearly intercepted. Would have been a critical mistake. That job much better that time. Throwing the ball out of bounds. Hey, line it up here. Third down. James Gardner, top.
Fourth different defensive back on James Gardner tonight at the top, and it's Jamal Hudson. But Ball is in trouble. He's going to be sacked. Taken down by the combination of Andrew Payne and Will Evans.
thought he might have had Garner on a slant at the top. Four-man pressure here. They just pushed the pocket, forcing a double clutch. 48's there to clean it up.
Big-time defensive play by the Bobcats. And Payne.
Yep, big play.
4th sack of the season for him. Oh, and dangerous to pick this up on the run as we've got a flag down as Kyle Kramer got hit, the punter from Miami. Is it the 5 or the 15-yard variety? Let's get this call and see. It's a 5-yarder. If it's 15-yard, it's going to be first down. It was 4th down and 12.
Initial glance, it looked like it was the 5-yard variety. See what the call is.
Running into the kicker, receiving team, number 19, 5-yard penalty, replay, 4th down.
Yeah, they'll re-kick that one for sure. It was D.L. Knock that got a piece of him there.
He tried to avoid. How lucky there.
For sure.
That's a 15 yards and a first down. That's new life.
Kylan Nelson awaits the kick. Ooh, almost touched there by Ohio. Surviving another scare there. And Austin Clack just being able to get away from that one. We've got a big weekend coming up. College football this Saturday on ABC. Pair of games. Clemson 7-1, ranked number 4 in the new college football playoff rankings that came out tonight, taking on NC State. Then you've got Virginia Tech and undefeated Miami. You've got both of the top 2 teams in each division of the ACC going at it. And these games this weekend also streaming live on the app.
Now, I've seen both Clemson and NC State in person this year on our Saturday games. I'll tell you what, talk about 2 of the maybe the best defensive lines in the country. Bradley Chubb for NC State, Christian Wilkins and Bryant there for Clemson. That's going to be a battle in the trenches.
Rourke taking a deep shot. Poppy White, a lot of contact. Overthrown. Darius Thompson, the defender. Flags are down. Oh, and another flag is down. And one of the players, Junior McMullen, is jawing with the official from Miami. You can't do that. Another flag comes in. You're right, Rocky. Oh, that, you cannot do that.
Junior McMullen, the emotional leader of this team, his emotions got the best of him there, Mike. That's inexcusable.
3 flags are down. The initial one on the play, and then 2 that we feel immediately thrown on Junior McMullen, number 5. So they'll sort this all out. And that's Chuck Martin right now talking to him. And a guy that has missed some time due to injury and was excited to be back, but that may be it for him here tonight.
There are 3 fouls on the play. Pass interference, defense, number 8. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 5. Unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 5. By rule,
he's out.
There's 2 unsportsmanlike fouls, and number 5, he's disqualified. Penalties will be enforced in order.
Exactly what we thought. A pass interference on Darius Thompson, and then the 2 in a row on Junior McMullen. He went right into the official's face, was jawing at him there, and then the official walked away and he kept doing it. And that's why there was 2 in a row, and he's tossed from the game here tonight.
And a ton of yardage and penalties, plus you lose your best linebacker. And he just got to control his emotion on his play. You can never jaw at the refs. College football, And especially when the first flag comes out.
Yeah,
and he goes back at it.
His teammates have to get him away.
Yeah,
as soon as they see the first one, it's got to push him as far away from the officials as possible. Yeah, that's obviously on him, and I think his guys got to kind of help him out there in that situation too. Rourke now will try to make them pay. Pass is caught by Cope. Short gain, 4 yards. Kobe Burst makes the tackle. That's 45 yards in penalties.
Wow.
Rocky, after that sequence.
I just think, they're doing the best they could to get him away, short of tackling, but he's got to keep his composure. He's playing too much football. He knows better than that.
Second down pass play. Oh, what a catch. Wow. On the far side. How did he haul that in? Meyer, Andrew Meyer. He's made some nice ones tonight. What a throw, too, by Rourke.
He's had at least 4 throws tonight, Mike, that are big time. All right, rolling out, sets up, and puts it right out there. Perfect placement for the wide receiver. Catch it in stride, using his hands.
And there's Sam Connolly, who's taking over for Junior McMullen, who just got tossed from the game there at middle linebacker. Rourke has 3 touchdown passes tonight. He's 18 yards away from 300. And this proficient red zone scoring offense at work. And again, oh, that one is dropped. Almost 2 in a row by Meyer. Heath Harding was on coverage.
But think. Almost another nice catch there by Andrew Meyer over Heath Harding. A little double move. Great job of recovery there by Harding. But I'll tell you what, losing McMullen, the other thing, Mike, is you lose your defensive leader. The guy's in there making calls, and all of a sudden Sam Connolly's in there, probably not as adept at making the calls and making the adjustments out there. That's big.
Second down, Rourke at the last second for Ouellette. And A.J. Ouellette taking some hits, getting close to another first down.
Rourke has just such a knack for knowing when to keep it, when to pitch it. And I think Miami said, look, we're not going to let the quarterback beat us down here, but right at the last second, flips it back out there to Ouellette in stride. And Ouellette does the rest.
Officials timeout for an injury.
Yeah, a lot of hitting going on during that last sequence right there. We'll step aside. 3rd down and 3 for Ohio, leading by 7 inside the red zone. So we'll keep it right here. So they're back onto the field. And you talk about the guy making the calls there, your middle linebacker, Junior McMullen, out. How about DeAndre Montgomery, the second leading tackler from Miami, was taken off in the first half. So
yeah, top 2 tacklers, top 2 linebackers missing. Huge play here for Miami's defense.
Yeah, Montgomery has yet to return. So they're getting thin in the linebacker spot. The Red Hawks direct snap to Ouellette. They try to get him off guard again, and Ouellette still pushing the pile towards the goal line, and he is stopped just shy. Halloween night, gotta do it.
Yeah,
got more free flickers
for it. Yeah. The old fake timeout play here, a little direct snap.
Yep. That's a great call.
Yeah, who says Frank Solich doesn't have any creativity, right?
It's a first down.
Getting the first down.
1st and goal. Ouellette, and he's hit initially by Brad Koenig, and that's going to hold him up from the end zone.
This is the area of the field where Nathan Rourke loves to keep the ball. We've seen it twice tonight. Miami's got to be aware.
Frank Solich's group wanted more touchdowns this season inside the red zone. Felt like they settled for way too many field goals last year, which they did. They had a freshman record, 29 by Zervos. Now they want scores, and they're getting them. And it's Rourke. Thanks to him, another one. Nathan Rourke, 3 rushing touchdowns and 6 total tonight.
About Nathan Rourke, you know, down here in the red zone near the goal line, he wants the ball in his hands, Mike, and not a bad option. Done it many times this year. This is the 3rd time tonight. Takes himself. Offensive line, great job pushing some bodies off the line of scrimmage. 12 for the score.
3 through the air, 3 on the ground. And they've converted 5 for 5 in the red zone with 5 touchdowns. 14-point lead for the Bobcats. For the 3rd time tonight, Ohio is on top by 2 touchdowns. Now it's 42-28. Still 10:42 to play in the contest. But how about Nathan Rourke? He came in, Rocky, with 23 total touchdowns, 10 through the air and 13 on the ground. And he has 6 more here tonight, 3 in the air, 3 on the ground.
It's amazing. I think in college football these days, to be successful, you've got to have a dual-threat quarterback, and Ohio has one. And how many beautiful passes have we seen by him? It's not like he's just throwing a bunch of bubble screens. He has thrown some nice passes in some tight windows and been able to come back and make a ton of plays with his legs.
No doubt. Here's Smith on the return for Miami across the 20-yard line. Flags are down all over the place. And how many times have we seen that shot of Rourke? It's touchdown on the phone.
Touchdown on the phone. That's right.
Touchdown on the phone.
Getting those adjustments and.
Wonder what could be said from, great job again, man. Great job. Keep it going.
During the return, we have a Leo blocking the back. Receiving team, number 49. 10-yard penalty, 1st down, Miami.
This is a huge drive for Miami here. Got to find a way to get some points.
Coming up on Saturday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, the Buckeyes right back in the thick of things. Number 6 in the nation now, getting set to take on Iowa after that remarkable comeback last weekend against Penn State. We'll have that on the app for you as well.
I'll tell you what, everyone's talking about the job J.T. Barrett did last week, but how about the defensive line for Ohio State? Talking all year how they were the best. Greg Schiano, the best I've ever coached. Hadn't seen it until last week. Made some big plays.
Oh, great call. Nice catch here by Sam Martin for Miami across the 30-yard line and a 1st down. And to your point, it has to come together on both sides of the football. Yeah, you can have Barrett doing what he does on offense, but you got to have your defense getting stops and making plays
right,
too.
But late in that game, critical 3rd downs, as Penn State was going that final drive, Ohio State came up with some sacks.
Smith on the carry, Alonzo Smith, and a gash up the middle for Miami. So that's 2 big plays for them back-to-back. And 2 players are down for Ohio. Kevin Robbins and Evan Crouch. Check it, Trent Smart, 90, and Crouch, 47. Smart still down. And Frank Solich is coming onto the field. They collided with each other.
There's a linebacker, Crouch, and Trent Smart coming together. Caught up.
Yeah, Smart is gingerly walking off the field now with a little bit of help, but senior defensive end.
But this drive is critical for Miami to get points here, because if they don't, 2 touchdowns. Ohio right now, they're going to run the ball. That line's been pounding away. Miami without their 2 best linebackers, 2 best tacklers, they cannot afford to have a 2-score game here going late in this 4th quarter.
No doubt. The last 2 plays have been good, though. 17 yards on the run, 21 on the pass. And Chuck Martin's group working fast here. Ball's passed off the hands of Ryan Smith, incomplete.
Just a little bit high. Goes to the back shoulder of Smith. I like the idea there, but just a little bit high.
What's been surprising and frustrating tonight, if you're a Miami fan and for Coach Chuck Martin, is the penalties and the unforced errors, and then your player gets tossed from the game.
That was inexcusable, for Junior Mullen to get thrown out of the game like that. Miami's got to find a way to calm down here and get back in this game.
Ball guns it, and that's dropped. Haven't said that, though, too much tonight, because that's James Gardner, and he's had a career night in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. 10 for 166 and 3 scores. But he couldn't grab that one. 3rd down and 10.
Garner here at the bottom.
Movement.
Ball start. Offense. 75. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
You're right, Mike. It's been penalties at critical times, just critical unforced errors. 9 penalties on the night.
It's hard enough to win at this place if you play one of your best games.
Well said. It really is. They make it tough here, and the unforced errors from Miami have bit them all year, and they are tonight.
3rd and 15. And Ball with, again, pressure in his face, and you know, I know you want to play another down, but that was 3rd down, and you know, at some point maybe you try to get out of there.
Yeah, the problem was there was a screen and the running back fell down, so there was nowhere to even hang in there and go with the ball. Now, again, if Gus Ragland's in the game, right, dual threat running quarterback, he can escape out of there and maybe pick up some yards with his legs, but Miami at this stage in the game, forced to go for it 4th down. You have to figure they're going to Garner. Bottom of the screen. He's had a huge night tonight. Give him a chance.
5 wide on 4th down and 15. Ball gets time, airs it out. Receiver looked like he stepped out of bounds as well. That was Sam Martin, unable to make the catch anyway. And Ohio's going to take over on downs. 14-point lead for the Bobcats, looking to make it 5 in a row over Miami here in the 4th.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Cabela's. Get to Cabela's for all your hunting, fishing, and camping needs. Cabela's, it's in your nature.
A little bit of everything here tonight in Ohio on Halloween night. Here,
you used to have a stash like that, right?
Yeah, I did, yes. A long time ago. Can't have that for TV, though.
No.
Unlike those long sideburns that you had back as a player.
Yeah, those were cool.
That was great. On the catch here is Mark Hefka for Ohio. On a 1st down play by the Bobcats. And now comfortably with a 14-point lead. Ball in their hands, 4th quarter. And Miami's been hurting themselves.
They have been. And look, as we talked about, powerful offensive line, been leaning on these guys all game. But Miami, again, without their top 2 linebackers, I think we're going to see a lot of A.J. Ouellette and Dorian Brown up the middle here.
Rourke escapes and then tried to get it to Brown as he got hit. Nathan Rourke with the 3 passing touchdowns and the 3 rushing touchdowns tonight, just adding to his total. He has accounted for 29 scores this season for Ohio.
Incredible. What a story he has coming from junior college, the way he has, and showing up here as a sophomore and getting it done.
Third down and 6. Pressure. And a low throw for Poppy White. It'll be 4th down. The Bobcats will punt.
That's a huge win for Miami. They're less than a minute went off the clock in that entire 3-play drive. They're going to get the ball back with plenty of time here. Put something together, still have 2 timeouts. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm shocked, frankly, that they wasn't 3 straight runs by A.J. Ouellette, burn another minute, 2.5 minutes off that. Yeah, that's not typical Frank Solich football right there.
I agree. Probably going to certainly take it off another couple minutes. Jared Murphy lets it go into the end zone. And Miami faced with a 2-touchdown deficit. And just over 9 minutes to go in the contest. Still plenty of time to work with. We'll see if they can mount the comeback when we return.
ESPN, home of the New Year's Six and the College Football Playoff.
College football playoff rankings came out tonight. And here you are with the top 6. Georgia, Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame. You got Oklahoma and Ohio State right there in the mix.
I largely, especially the top 4, I largely agree with. And the committee went with your resume and winning games. I think we can sit around and play this whole eye test business all day long, but you got to win your games. They're on the schedule, and Georgia especially has done that.
Ball looking for Ryan Smith, and incomplete. Back to the top 4 for a moment. You've got Georgia hosting South Carolina this week. Then you've got Alabama taking on LSU. NC State is hosting Clemson. That's probably the toughest game of the top 4.
Especially
right?
as Kelly Bryant, Clemson's quarterback. Is he healthy? And, he's got that ankle injury he's been dealing with, a little concussion. When he can move around, they're special. When he can't, it's a different team.
Ball's pass. Almost intercepted yet again. Looking for Jared Murphy. Off the mark, a little bit low. It's going to be 3rd and 10. And your guys, Notre Dame,
Wake
against Wake Forest.
Wake Forest, they're tough. They got a good defense. I think the Irish pull that one out.
How about Miami here tonight, though? Can they pull this out? They're down by 2 touchdowns. They've come back from 2 touchdowns down twice tonight. They tie it at 14. They tie it at 28. But now we're in the 4th.
I think either way, you got to find James Gardner here. He's your go-to guy, big player. Give him a chance.
Billy Ball. And they have the completed catch to Smith. He's going to be shy of the first down, though, by 2 yards. It's going to be 4th and 2. Now they're at their own 28-yard line. 2 timeouts. But you got to stay out there, right?
Yeah, I think you got to go for it at this stage. Down 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, this could potentially be the game here for Miami if they don't pick this up. Gardner, and he drops it. Coverage from behind by Brad Ellis. They went to their top target, and he couldn't bring it in. And the Bobcats take over at the 28-yard line of the Red Hawks.
You got to give Brad Ellis some credit. He's been beat a few times tonight, but a good job on that slant route there. It's been hit so many times tonight. Brad Ellis anticipates it, gets the right hand here, and helps knock that ball away.
4th drop by Miami receivers tonight. Chuck Martin frustrated, obviously, with that. The drive stalls, and Ohio will take over with a 2-touchdown advantage. And now I'm sure you're going to see the ball on the ground here.
It's got to be, right? I thought we'd see it last drive. Ohio had an opportunity to drain some more time off the clock. I think we'll see a lot of 45 here.
And there he is, A.J. Ouellette. And Nate Trawick first on the scene to make the tackle for Miami. No gain. A.J. Ouellette was a walk-on in the summer of 2014. Worked really hard during camp, was actually awarded a scholarship, one freed up, and they gave it to him, 45. And from his freshman year on, has been the starter. Missed last year, though, with a foot injury, but he is back dominating in a big way here tonight. 68 yards and 16 carries. Rourke can also carry it, and he's going to be brought down by Brad Koenig. It's a loss of 1.
Miami uses a timeout. We'll have 1 left here.
30-second timeout.
Look, they hold here, find a way to force a field goal, and there's still an opportunity here. I think they got to keep it to 2 scores. Force a long field goal, maybe a chance.
All right, Rocky, what did you think about the rankings so far here tonight? The first week of the rankings here on this Tuesday for Halloween, and Give me your ratings.
How about that guy? Look at that old picture of the Rock there. I think they largely got it right. I think Georgia has the best resume, the best win at Notre Dame. Notre Dame with just a 1-point loss to Georgia and Miami. A lot of people call me crazy on that one. Maybe I'm reaching a little bit, but I like the fact they're undefeated. I think they're playing good ball. Find out a lot about them this week. They play Virginia Tech.
It's so crazy of when the losses occur, who they come against, how it matters. I mean, you think at Penn State, right? They just lost to Ohio State. Pretty darn good team. And now everybody's like, well, they're done.
They're done. Yeah, I know. What are we talking about?
Clemson lost to Syracuse.
Right.
Okay, a couple weeks ago now. Next thing you know, they're in the top 4 again. Pass on the outside for Ohio and just shy of the first down by Andrew Meyer. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden, and I guess obviously depends on who you have left on the schedule.
Right. Well, and even Ohio State, I mean, they lost to Oklahoma, who lost to Iowa State. Now all of a sudden that loss means absolutely nothing.
But Iowa State's good.
No, of course they are. But it's kind of the same deal as their loss to Oklahoma worse than Penn State losing in a late game to Ohio State? I don't know.
Field goal opportunity, 37 yards out for Louis Zervos. Some pretty automatic. Good job to get that snap down, and the kick is good. As Jake Hale had a low snap that went off the turf, and Michael Farkas was able to get it down. And Louis Zervos has now tied the record in Ohio history for most field goals made at 40. And Ohio separates themselves. 3-possession advantage now, as we'll be back after this. Largest lead of the night now for Ohio at 45-28. They've scored over 40 points 6 times this season. Haven't done that since 1968. Look at their job in the red zone. Again, Rocky, that number is even going to go up higher after tonight.
Just getting it done tonight, getting opportunities down there. So balanced tonight.
There's 6:48 left in the contest for the Red Hawks, and we've got those games coming up for you that we talked about. Clemson and NC State Saturday on ABC. Probably one of the toughest matchups for the top 4 teams right now. That'll start at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. 7-1 Clemson, 6-2 NC State. Then at 8 p.m. Eastern, Virginia Tech 7-1, and number 10 Miami still undefeated, 7-0. How about that game coming your way this weekend?
And what a fantastic year it's been. College football, right? A couple weeks ago, we get the 4 upsets in the top 10, and there's another slate of great games coming up here this weekend.
Yeah, number 2 and number 4 both going down last week, and this continues to happen week in and week out. 6:48 to play. Billy Ball. And just airs it out really to nobody there, and trying to go deep for Kenny Young. Javon Hagan was back on coverage. And this Billy Ball, who started the first half of last year and got hurt. And then Gus Ragland came in and helped lead this team to a bowl game. Ragland was the guy that started the first 6 games of this season, and he got hurt. And now it's Ball, who gets it out to Sam Martin here for a first down and more up to the 43-yard line. And you had mentioned it earlier about Billy Ball, a guy that was very heavily recruited and a big-time recruit. For when these guys landed him, they were psyched.
Yeah, they were. He was a 4-star guy. I mean, Chuck Martin, I remember on signing day, he said, look, if I was at Notre Dame, I would have signed Billy Ball. He was that level of player. And I think we've seen a lot of that potential, but still has some ways to go with some of the decision-making and choices he's making with where to go with the football. But still, I mean, he's still got a ton of upside.
Junior out of Woodstock, Illinois. So has to limit some of those turnovers as Jaron Murphy makes the catch to set up 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, we've said it, but the biggest thing they're missing with Ragland out is the ability to scramble and create and extend a play and pick up a first down with his legs, because running isn't Billy Ball's game.
Again, Martin, nice catch to the 36 of Ohio, and Sam Martin gets in front of Jalen Fox that time for the reception, gain of 14.
Miami still has a chance here, obviously. I mean, they're moving the ball. Still some time.
Fourth catch of the night for Martin. Third behind Smith and Gardner, who's got 10 catches. Ball going for Gardner. It's up there. Gardner almost had it, falling back, and it's incomplete. Could have been a touchdown as he was right there on the pylon.
We're taking a tremendous catch. And look, you know, you give your best wide receiver a chance. Decently thrown ball.
Almost. 19th target tonight to James Gardner. Second down ball. And they come over the middle again to Martin. Jalen Fox right there to bring him down. Clock, they'll be coming a factor. Just over 5 minutes left. One timeout in the back pocket. And yeah, Martin saying, let's go. We don't have much time here. Third down. And too hard for Martin this time. Fox again right there behind him. Well, you can say it again, look for Gardner, you know, right? But
yeah,
it's been tough.
It's been tough. You know, I'd love to see Kenny Young out of the backfield here as well as an option. He's not in the game, though.
Alonzo Smith's in the backfield, and whistle's blown. We've got a timeout, Ohio, for 4:58. Mentioned earlier,
Ohio, 30-second timeout.
That the coaches that have been at their respective schools for quite some time. Frank Solich now in his 13th season at Ohio. You go back to what he did in Nebraska, a player, then an assistant coach way back in the day there from 1979 and 1997, and then the head coach. He took them to 6 bowl games. You said you played against him when you were at Notre Dame. We showed some of that footage earlier, and now here at Ohio since, you know, the last 13 years.
Yeah, I just think it's amazing. Go back. He's been in coaching for 50 years. You know, at the high school and college level. Just loves this game, and he's sure given a lot back to this game.
Fourth down for Miami. Ball's passed. It's caught. Murphy. He's got to get to the 26. He's not going to. And Ohio, for the second time, is going to take over on downs here. And Shan Moore is the guy that made the play for the Bobcats.
I think it was the right place to go with the ball. It was just a great play by Chad Moore. Chad Moore was a MAC East Player of the Week last week versus Kent. Good reverse. And then just with the suplex to keep him from getting the first down yardage.
Well shy of the first down, no doubt. And Ohio takes over.
Billy Ball did some great things tonight. He had some poor decisions at times. And I know he'll keep getting better.
I mean, you think of his numbers here, Rocky. It's a career-high passing yards. He's thrown for 350 yards tonight. His pass is caught here by Troy Manchin.
They had 2 interceptions early, obviously, were a huge factor in this as well. Getting the ball back to Ohio, who capitalized it with scores of their own.
And it's like anything. You want to keep the good numbers and obviously get rid of the 2 picks. I mean, if you have a night from Billy Ball passing 28 of 51 for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns, you know, you're pretty excited about that.
That was Miami's final timeout of the half.
The 2 early picks, almost a third, and Ohio has capitalized. They've turned those into points.
Yeah, well, and then you look on the other side, as much as we've talked about Nathan Rourke and the touchdowns he's had on the ground and in the air, they haven't turned the ball over. You know, that's a big time. That's maybe the most telling stat of all.
Second down and 7 for Ohio. Olette as they use up more clock here, and this is how important this game was for the Red Hawks. They have 3 losses this year by 12 points. They've had leads in the fourth quarter. They've turned the ball over. There's just been a lot of bad luck by this team, and coming in at 3-5, they really felt like that could have been flip-flop 5-3. You know, had they been able to pull out a win here tonight, could tie Ohio. But
yeah, they're back in the mix. Yeah, they would have tied it, had the tiebreaker, but it's tough to see them. They'll play Akron here next week, who's obviously also at the top of the division.
Flags fly. Pass incomplete for White.
Offside. Defense. Number 92. 5-yard penalty. Results in a first down.
I believe that's 10 penalties tonight on Miami. Sixth first down by penalty tonight for Ohio. You can't have it.
Yeah, Ohio's already a good enough team, right? You can't afford them to also give them some free first downs and free yardage.
Olette, the way they put up numbers too, I don't think people realize they are top 10 in the nation in scoring offense, this Ohio team. Trying to break a 49-year record of how many points have been scored on average in a season. They're putting up over 40. Here's a look on the other side of the standings in the MAC on the west side. Now Toledo and Ohio play next week.
Right here.
Right here.
Eden Stadium.
On
That'll
Wednesday,
be a huge game.
November 8th.
Northern Illinois still very much in the mix.
And we will have that one for you on our ESPN family of networks for sure next Wednesday night, the 8th. As Olette carries on second down for the Bobcats, and you got to give them a lot of credit, Rocky. They've got a lot going for them with that running game, not only with Olette, of course, but with Rourke. So you got to respect that. And they kind of showed us everything early, didn't they?
Yeah,
Rourke
they did.
Running, Olette running, and then Rourke's passing.
Yeah, and there's so many options. There's a lot of teams around college football that they have one option, one thing they do well. But Rourke, he runs well, throws the ball well. They got Poppy White, they got Brendan Cope. Andrew Meyer had a few receptions tonight. It's a loaded team with a ton of weapons and a ton of ways they can beat you.
And third down, and not going to get the first, so just about a yard shy. Sam Connolly on the tackle, first on the scene for Miami. On Olette, how about the numbers from Nathan Rourke once again? Sophomore out of Canada. Came down to the States his senior year to play high school in Alabama. Then went to community college at Fort Scott Community College in Kansas. Finally got some offers from Akron and Ohio. Decided to come here to Ohio. They couldn't have been more happier, and they're going to have him for another couple years as well.
A couple years of that true sophomore. The future is bright for this program. I'll tell you what, if you get that position figured out in college football, the quarterback spot, you're going to have a lot of success. It's hard to find good ones. It's hard to find great ones, of course, and ones to build programs around, but you do. You got a chance in any football game.
Talked to him this past week. He's got a younger brother, Curtis, just 17 years old, as a quarterback in high school, and he is being recruited by teams like Ohio. They said they've showed interest in him. So that'll be interesting to see what his younger brother decides to do. But here's what the older bro has done here tonight for the Bobcats.
About 6 touchdowns on the night. This is the first drive of the game. Loves to keep the ball down near the end zone, but then also get it done with a deep passing game. Brendan Cope. There's just so many ways he's effective. You try to stop the pass, then again, he'll tuck it down, run, get the tough yardage, grinding it out, and just some beautiful throws tonight. For a running quarterback, usually you don't see that level of accuracy and pinpoint throws. We've seen a ton of them tonight. 6 total scores, and just for good measure, another rushing touchdown.
Fourth down punt. This group for the Bobcats played well tonight. Both sides of the ball. Another group that's done really well here tonight has been our ESPN crew. Got to thank our producer, Eric Postman, our director, Jason Wald, associate director and producers, Jesse Jones and Mariah Gearhart, along with Hakeem Boyd, our audio, Greg Fowler and Rob Sheets and Ian Leith, us up here in the booth. And alongside former NFL linebacker and Super Bowl champion Rocky Boyman, I'm Mike Corey with our statistician Jeff Nelson, our spotter Mitch Smith, and our booth coordinator Jerome Ingram tonight. Great work, everybody, among many others here on the crew tonight.
Always enjoyed, doing these midweek MAC games. A lot of fun. You get some points, get some excitement, and it's been fun tonight.
And Miami, they're going to 3-6 on the season. Ohio's going to improve to 7-2. So tough sledding here for the Red Hawks at Ohio. They haven't won since 2005, and it's going to stay that way. It's going to be 5 straight for the Bobcats, too, over the Red Hawks.
How about that game next week, Ohio versus Toledo?
Yep.
Should be a lot of points. That's going to be a fun one.
Another run for not much here for Miami. Clock reaches 1 minute to go in this contest tonight. Going to thank our great camera crew as well, braving the weather out there. And Derek Armstrong, Adam Moreland, Greg Baker, Randall Martindale, Ron Caruso, Mark Hugg. Guys don't get enough credit. They've been out there, and you're not moving around either.
No.
You're standing in one spot. 30-degree temperature tonight, getting all the great shots that we've seen here on this Halloween night.
Great job.
Thanks, guys. And the handoff to Jalen Bester. And that should pretty much do it here tonight. Clock will tick down on this one from action for this Tuesday night. Rocky, great working with you here on this
Pleasure,
one.
my friend.
Good win here for the Ohio Bobcats.
Yeah, they looked every bit the part tonight. Stumbled early in the year versus Central Michigan, but now they are back and they are rolling, Mike.
And the night for Nathan Rourke, the sophomore quarterback. 3 touchdown passes, 3 rushing, is accounted for 29 on the season. And the Bobcats roll to victory, 45-28. That's all for us here tonight from Athens, Ohio. Happy Halloween. Hope you've enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of the week. We'll see you next time.